7 weeks ago, and didn't even think I was going to race until about Wednesday. This is the first week I've rode twice during the week, so yeah, just at a loss, man. Pumped to do it. First race my little girl came to get on the podium. Wish I could have won it, but that was sick. That was sick.
Wasn't easy. Didn't make it easy on myself. Terrible start, which I'm usually a good starter. Of course, the one time we really need a start, cricket botched it. So it was buried. Unfortunately, Stewart wasn't quite going up the pace with the top guys, and I just couldn't get around him. It was, you couldn't see. You were looking down at the ground, barely riding, and in sections. And then the sections you could push, he knew, so he's pushing. So I did what I could, and once we pit, I was able to get by them, and then was able to hammer down. I was creeping on the leaders, or at least second, but too little, too late. I'll take it. They're on the box. From the last few, it's been a struggle, so we're back. Thank you.
Hey, so
I
can't even remember now. What? No, it's Foo Fighters' Best of You.
There you go.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
How's it feel?
It's good, finally. Tired of those second places. Waynesburg crew, you know?
Waynesburg crew.
2023, that deserves its own round of applause right there. Craig DeLong getting the job done, man. Beating that first two-time winner. 100% chance of champagne showers at the Parts Unlimited Mason-Dixon. Make more noise. Once again, put your hands together for the XC2 Pro podium. Here from the Parts Unlimited Mason-Dixon, GNCC.
Man, the bike started, and that was one of the most important things today. The bike started, pulled the whole shot, and man, just controlled the race. I threw down a pretty good first lap, and once I got that first lap under my belt, I put it in pace mode, really. No mistakes. Made sure I got through lappers good. Really just put my head on a swivel, knew what I was doing, and just put my head down as well. I mean, felt good, rode good, happy with where I'm finishing. The championship points really don't show all the work we've been putting in all year, but I hope they do at the end of the year. Thank you, Daisy.
Oh my gosh, it feels amazing. I didn't get such a good start, but I made passes, smart passes here and there, and when I got in second and me and Hannah split going up a hill, I just held my line, and then I led the rest of the race, and it was just amazing. I'm speechless.
That's my hair. Woo. Look, guys, they told me, they're like, you know, the GNCC is extreme, right? I was like, all right, it gets muddy. All right, I learned that at round 3. Dust at a GNCC race. You might not know, but this is a black shirt and green shorts. I'm just 50 shades of dust right now. These guys don't care. They're just wide open no matter what you're doing. What a race we just had, and we're just getting started. Pros haven't even raced yet. Crazy. Mason-Dixon, baby.
You can get all the gear that I wear from your local Parts Unlimited dealer or mooseracing.com. There's your part number if you'd like to know what I wear. You know what's funny is people make me laugh because they're like, what do you think about today? And I'm like, I don't know, man. It is, you know, blah, 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 all that, you know, all that jazz. And everybody says, I like your saying. I said, what? And they're like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but you sure can use his old ones. I think I might have to hashtag that one.
Close your eyes. What do you see? Perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah! Greg, go sweat it off, baby. I'm feeling it. I feel good. I'm ready to roll.
Yep.
Go ahead. On a scale of 1 to 10, minus a 7. How
11.
do you think it's actionable?
Oh, it's an 11, dude. I'm stoked.
The track?
I'm stoked. You know,
Just drive fast.
It's like an FTR, dude. It's like a float trail riders out here, and we're gonna be rolling.
I like the mud more.
Okay.
The dust is scary. I think I'll. Yeah, gotta get the full shot. I think it'll be all right. I just don't like not being able to see. That's a little scary.
It'll buff out though.
Yes, it definitely will.
Dude, it's podium time now. You know what it's like.
Gotta get a good start. Got this.
How you feeling?
I was late getting up here. I had my sister and my girlfriend racing in the morning race. I'm feeling good. I took care of them. Now it's time to take care of business.
That's pretty good, but I gotta tell you, we are in the heart of off-road racing, a stone's throw from the world headquarters. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Are you ready to go? GNCC Racing! Go into the hole shot. It's carnage. How about that? The 7-1-4 Ronnie Rush will grab the All Balls Racing hole shot. And you don't think these men want it? We are already battling in the XC1. Here we go, XC2 Pro-Am class hole shot award.
behind him. Three turns away. Here we go, boys.
Great riding by the Coltrane right there. Good
exactly
defensive
what
riding.
Bryson wants to be and says no.
Oh my goodness.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Here
right
we
there.
go into
That's
the
it.
finish
That's
line.
it.
Oh, little love
Yep,
tap
little
by
love
Neal.
tap.
That's going to be it.
And your winner today is Cole Richardson, Bryson Neal, making up a lot of time, making our hearts beat fast. And
yeah, I mean, we somehow got into the lead there early on. We actually didn't have that great of a jump, but was able to sneak through some guys. I think we was third going in the woods. Got around boards. Josh dusted me out, and I was talking to Brandon Frazier, and before the race, he said X mile to X mile actually wasn't bad on the West Virginia side. So I was just trying to push to catch Josh there to see if he kind of let me round and pace off me. He knew we're pretty quick here. We still have the most wins here. I'm just pumped to get another one, and I don't know. We just clicking off flaps, felt real comfortable. Was letting Bryson kind of click off some time there at the end, but gave him a little too much. Got some lappers, and all of a sudden, boom, he's right there. And I knew he was going to be charging, but we got it done.
So dusty track, and it was a long haul back to the front. Whenever I got goggles, I had the pit stop, got me fresh water, and whenever I got around Josh Merritt and McGill, and I got some clear track, man, I was really starting to lay it down. And the track where we just got that little bit of rain, the berms, they were berming up awesome. Got to ask the engine out, Hauser A-arms, Oka shocks, everything was clicking great today, man. And I'm so pumped I was able to, really, man, get close to him at the pit. I was able to show him some wheels coming in here to the finish line. And I wish I had a little bit more time, but I'm so pumped. I'm really happy to bring home second.
Start was, I thought I had the jump, got spun a little bit there. And then, dude, Bryson, I went wide in the corner, and Bryson just came out of nowhere, literally landed on me, and pretty scary. Luckily, I kind of ducked out, but I think we ended up bending a ball joint when he landed on us. And that was lap one, so it made it a little tough to go straight, And we knew we couldn't turn left as aggressive as we wanted to, but no, just adapted to that. And then we were, back like second to last, and hey, we came through, we made it happen. Back on the box, solid points day. Row one at Snowshoe, which will be nice. And yeah, all in all, good day. Wish our start could have been a little better. I think we had the jump, and it happens.
Little noise for your XC1 Pro podium. Champagne showers, make some noise for your XC1 podium. Frisbees now, every week, it's like they just up the ante. We got towels, then we got koozies, then we got rubber ducks. Now we got, don't make them feel awkward. Cheer for them while they smile. There we go. All right, a great job.
GNCC returns to the Snowshoe Mountain for the Yamaha Racing Snowshoe GNCC. Of course, last round, Cole Richardson coming off a big win. He was very confident going into that one. He said, I'm the man to beat today. Does he carry that momentum here today at Snowshoe? Then, of course, Bryson Neal, the points leader. He is the man to beat. He is in control of this championship chase. Will he go into summer break with the win? And we can't talk about Snowshoe without mentioning the Gator, Adam McGill. He had a huge win at the John Pitton GNCC. Lit the world on fire. He said, we're going to the Mason-Dixon. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm focused on Snowshoe. Now, you go to the Mason-Dixon. He finished about 20 seconds off the box in fourth. So he did very well there. Does he have some more magic left in the tank here in Snowshoe Mountain? Will we be calling this the McGill Mountain after this weekend? And of course, the big question mark, Walker Fowler. Does he make his return today? All that and more starts now on Racer TV. Are you ready to go GNCC Racing?
All right, guys, we are here at the top of Snowshoe Mountain for the 2023 Yamaha Racing Snowshoe GNCC, and it looks like it is going to be a good one, Johnny.
Absolutely, man. We're here for ATV Day. It's Saturday, and we know that the four-wheel fans are going to be down in Howard's Hole, and it's going to get wild. We've got a barn burner coming up in the XC1 class, and it really started 2 weeks ago at Mason-Dixon with Cole Richardson coming out, catching his first win of 2023, but it was a battle right down to the line between him and Bryson Neal, who is your points leader right now. Obviously, last year here at Snowshoe, things went a little awry for Bryson and lost a lot of points, but here we are 1 year later. Says he's learned from that, so will he be able to, maybe he can conquer the mountain. There's a lot of, Jackson, as you know, there's a lot of smack talk going on between some folks about what exactly this mountain is called. Some people are making some unfounded claims about the name of it based on the number of wins, quite frankly. Some guy, Adam something, is claiming it's named after him. But
yeah, that's what I've heard as well.
But he doesn't have the most wins up here. That's a gentleman named Walker Fowler that clearly has the most wins on this mountain since we started racing here. And another rumor, is Walker Fowler back this weekend?
That's the main question, Johnny. Like you said, I'm not going to put, going back to Bryson Neal, I'm not going to put nothing past Bryson Neal. But with the competition that might be here this weekend, he's going to have it out for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bryson's in a completely different mindset. I mean, he's in championship mode. He wants wins. He needs wins. But at the same time, it's all about points for him. And he's actually made mention several times that he's just looking to not make the mistakes he's made in the past. So obviously, he's going to be focused on coming out of here with a solid podium or even a top 5. A lot of guys in the mix, though. Hunter Hart rides very well here. Jay Shadron had a career best ride here last year. So many guys, Cole Richardson obviously coming hot off his win at Mason-Dixon. And the list goes on and on. Pretty much anyone in that XC1 class could come out on top.
Yeah, definitely. And Hunter Hart, going back to him, Hunter is one to definitely keep your eye out. He's been on the podium just about every round, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been consistent, and it hasn't been a good place in the points there in that second place spot. Actually, he had that DNF, though, but I think he is still holding on to that second place spot just by the skin on his teeth. And then we go to that XC2 class. Stephen Harrell, he's just been on fire. Tough to beat, but there's a lot of guys wanting a piece of him. Lane McCormick, James Glauda, the list goes on and on. Obviously, Brandon Owens, a rider he's from Ohio, but right on the West Virginia border. We're here in West Virginia. We expect him to perform well, and we're going to find out here in just a couple hours how it all shakes out.
And Johnny, going back to your point about who is the king here of Snowshoe Mountain, we got to catch up with Adam McGill, who is claiming that himself.
All right, guys, we're down here with Adam McGill. Now, Adam, you were just saying last weekend was the warm-up for the big show this weekend. We know you're looking good. You got some special stuff going on this weekend. How you feeling coming into Snowshoe?
Man, I'm feeling really good. I get goosebumps talking about it. Check that out. Man, this place is just, it's very, 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 it's a powerful energy when you come here. When you travel, what is it, 48 or 4,800 feet up. When you get up here, man, it's just the air is different. The atmosphere is different. We had the last race, 2 weeks ago in PA. That's just a warm-up, baby. The reason we call it the Mountain of McGillville is because this is the house. If you want to make a statement, no matter where your season is all year, you come out of here on the boxer with a win, I'm telling you, it'll turn your season around. And this place is just the atmosphere, the people, the energy. I mean, you cannot explain anything about Snowshoe until you experience it. And the best way to experience it is with me.
Now, you've said it here before, this place it's just different. There's not really a way to capture it. As far as the course itself, what do you think the obstacles specifically that you're going to have that are going to give you that little edge, that little difference to make you grab another win out here?
Oh, God. I mean, there's so much stuff here. I'm wanting to go walk it here in a bit because it's really hard to bike this stuff. Wanting to go walk here in a bit. I'm not concerned with Howard's Hole. I got plenty of guys down there. I got plenty of fans. And you know what? I'm going to pull in down there. I'm going to get off the bike, shut off, be like, hey, take it to the end, baby. I'm going to let these fans carry me out there. But there's a few spots that I know if Bolton and Eccles put it in, that's going to be challenging for us. But, you know, I put on my big monster truck tires, baby, and we're going to crush these rocks just like Grave Digger crushes them cars. So them fans better be ready, because we're going to burn the top off of this mountain, win or lose. It's going to be a hell of a good time, guys. So make sure you support me and you come out to see us.
There we go. McGill's ready to do battle out here at Snowshoe.
Well, there you heard from Adam, the man himself, saying he's here to take back the mountain. And a very cool tribute he's doing with that Blackwater 100 bike. A race that many years ago kickstarted the GNCC series, a iconic event. And this is a tribute to that race itself many years ago. So it's cool to see Adam doing a tribute to that race as well. And to find a little bit more about this iconic track, we're going to go to our man Jared Bolton with our Yamaha track preview.
Well, thanks, guys. It's awesome to be back here on Snowshoe Mountain. You know, every week, you know what you think you know what I'm going to say, but I'm not going to say it this week. This isn't a little something for everyone. This is more of a technical, rocky, muddy, nasty rider's course. If you like rocks, roots, mud, this is all for you. Now, we do throw in some of those real fast ski slopes, but that's only a small portion of the course. The first little bit, you got a little bit of fast ski trail, then you drop down into the infamous Howard's Hole. It's deep, muddy, rocky, nasty. It's one of the hardest things you'll ride all year. And then you get a little bit of a break. We'll send you up some ski slopes for a little while, and then when you send you over here on this side of the mountain, guess what? It is nonstop rocks, roots, and muds for miles and miles and miles. That's where these guys that are real good in the technical stuff are going to excel. And then you get a little bit of a break coming back to the finish. It gets fast again for just a little bit, and then back out towards Howard's Hole again. But by and far, the majority of this course, what am I going to say? Yeah, rocks, roots, mud, the good stuff, if you like that kind of stuff. Speaking of that nasty stuff, let's go down to Howard's Hole, check in with our boy Zach.
Thanks, Jared. I'm down here at the Howard's Hole. Now, this is the calm before the storm. As you can see, all is quiet right now, but the arrows have been laid out, the course has been set up, and the only thing left to do is go racing.
All-new Yamaha YZ450F. Narrower, more compact, and lighter. Built to do one thing: go faster. Flexible financing options offered directly through Yamaha are available. See your local Yamaha dealer today.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972.
We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
Last season was my best season ever by far. I won a lot of races. I won the championship, and it was also my first year using ARMA. And one of the things I noticed was just my ability to string good days together. You know, like especially in the summertime in Florida, where you're riding every day and the heat index is 108 degrees and you're doing 230s and going to the gym and bicycle and all that stuff. I think in the past I've been super inconsistent day to day. Yeah, I may have a good race here or a good day during the week there, but overall I think where I improved the most was my consistency in my recovery.
GNCC Racing is brought to you by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready. And good afternoon, and we'd like to welcome everybody at home watching live on RacerTV.com. This is the Yamaha Racing Snowshoe GNCC. GNCC presented by Specialized, an AMA National Championship. We're up here on the mountain, if you're just tuning in, on a little bit of a holding pattern, waiting on a safe track to race, waiting on our trail boss, Mr. Jared Bolton, to arrive down here and give us our course description. And then, of course, we'll have our prayer with Ricky Towery and a live singing of the national anthem. So don't go anywhere. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss it. And there's Stu Baylor. Come on up here, buddy. While we got time, let's talk to Stu Baylor. What he's thinking to himself right now is, I sure as hell wish I was racing a four-wheeler right now.
No, I'm thinking I got to go get the fans riled up before these guys get to Howard's Hole.
Do you think you could do a better job than McGill? I mean, this is like his back doorstep.
Are you kidding me? Adam, was he out the night before his race? Because you know damn well I will be.
Okay, all right. Hey, listen, the challenge is on. The ego measuring contest, if you will, is in full effect.
The ego's been measured. It's already here. It's all right here.
All right, Stu. All right, let's talk a little racing. Tomorrow, Snowshoe, there's nothing like it. GNCC, in my opinion, is already one of one. And then Snowshoe GNCC, there's just nothing like this in the world.
No, absolutely not. I mean, the fans here are awesome, like from the time you show up, the golf tournament, everything going on, the Stasic racing downtown. Like, you can't have a better time than Snowshoe Mountain. It's one that I hope we keep on the schedule as long as I'm racing. You have a blast up here. It's hard to have a bad time, I can promise that.
All right, one last question. Give me your top 3 XC1 ATVs. No pressure.
No pressure. I think Fowler's got a good advantage back in the back. Like right now, it's a gnarly track. People are going to get stuck. I think he's going to be third. McGill second. Bryson Hill for the win.
Okay, you heard it right here. Stu Baylor. Don't throw things at him as he's riding back through for not picking Adam McGill. All right, hang on one second. We're going to turn it over real quick to our race director, Mr. Tim Cotter.
Thank you, Mikey. Hey, we got a special guest just showed up on the mountain. West Virginia State Senator Ben Queen is with us today. Ben, come on out. Ben's a big fan of GNCC. He's been to 3 or 4 this year, always coming to Snowshoe. Ben, welcome back to Snowshoe.
It's great to be here. Thank you for visiting West Virginia. Welcome. We hope you have a blast.
and please come back to wild and wonderful West Virginia anytime you can.
Ben, are you going to Howard's Hole dressed like that?
No.
So you're going to change?
Maybe, if I can get a ride.
I'll get you a ride to Howard's Hole.
And a ride back, please.
And a ride back. The ride back is a ski lift up the mountain. You've really got to experience the ski lift with the Howard's Hole. We call them mud fleas. So you got to experience the mud fleas coming up the mountain.
I've been there enough. I will get stuck with them, so yeah.
All right, Ben, you've been saved by the track crew. Jared Bolton just showed up. That means he's got some news for us, and we will turn it back over to Mikey.
Thank you for that, Tim Cotter. And without further ado, we ask for your undivided attention as we turn the microphone over to our trail boss, Mr. Jared Bolton.
Yeah, thank you, Mikey. Okay, guys, needless to say, it's very, very bone dry out there. It's dusty. There's no rocks. There's no roots. It's super easy. Obviously, that's a lie. I can't lie. I'm not very good at that. Okay, you guys kind of know what to expect here. You're going to take off from the start. You guys up front already know this, but everybody in the back, listen. That first turn is slick. Wet pavement's pretty slick with some knobby quad tires on it, so be really, really careful. I've been saying it all morning. You're not going to win the race in the first turn. All right, so you're going to take off, work your way around the start. You're going to cross over behind the village here, and you will bypass the finish line the first time by, heading out on the full lap. So the first mile, you're kind of running a lot of ski slope, pretty fast. Be really, really careful. Take your time. Learn it. Again, you're not going to win the race on the first lap, okay? Once you get to the 1 mile mark, you guys are going to drop down. You are going through Howard's Hole. You're going straight there. It's within that first mile. Long downhill, steep downhill down into Howard's Hole. Good luck. Pick your way through it. There's plenty of different ways. Most of you guys have already rode it. It's really no different than what it's been in the past. Plenty of rocks, plenty of mud, plenty of help down there in case you need it. Come on out of Howard's Hole. You're going to be at about the 1.5 mile mark, kind of jumping back and forth between the ski slopes and some woods, all the way to the 2, all the way to the 3. Long ski slope climb there. Go back down to the bottom. You're about 3/4 of the way down the bottom of the mountain, just past the 3 mile mark. So you know what that means. You got to climb back up it. Long climb all the way up the ski slope at the top of the world. A couple switchbacks on it, and then you're going to come back up, cross over the paved road, and over to the 4 mile mark. And that's when the fun begins. Basically, once you get over there, you are in rocks and roots for quite a while, okay? Nice little rocky, rooty downhill section. Pop out on a power line for a second. That'll give you just a little bit of a break. Back in the woods again, and another long downhill all the way down to the 5 mile mark. So since we beat you up there, we're going to give you another little break. You got about a 150-yard little field crossing, and it's right back into the woods again. More rocks, more roots, more mud. You guys go to about the 5.5, and you're going to split off. You're basically splitting from the 5.5 to the 6.5. So there's some motorcycle and trail in there that you guys aren't going to run. On past the 6.5 there, kind of keep working your way around. It's zigzaggy back and forth. You're out on the plateau of the mountain. It's a little flatter over in there for a little bit. And then you actually won't see the 7 mile mark. The 7 mile mark is on another little bike piece. It really doesn't cut off much, only about 3/10 of a mile around there. But you're coming back in right past the 7 mile mark. You just won't see it. And you guys are heading out onto what we call the West Plateau. Usually you guys don't run that West Plateaus, but we gave it to you this year since we took out that other little bit. Pretty fun little section out through there, but it's tough. It's a couple of big rocks on it, and there's a little bit of a rocky uphill climb back up to the 8 mile mark that gave some of those guys in the morning a bit of a fit. And in fact, they're still towing a couple of guys from back out in there. So use your head, pick your lines through there, and you'll go right up through it. I mean, I rode up through it every time, and I'm not as good as you guys. So right up through there, the 8 mile mark, good zigzaggy section, through a couple more rocks all the way to the 9 mile mark. And then we'll take it easy on you for a little bit. Start climbing back up the mountain. That's the 9 mile mark. You're going to pop out on what we call Shea Way. Now, guys, Shea Way is that real fast, kind of like an old road bed. They call it Shea Way because it was once the railroad out through there. So it's real wide, real fast. Take your time, pick your way through it. And then you're going to come to that long uphill climb up the power line, cross over West Ridge Road, and you guys are going to go straight up and around the pro pits, past the 10 mile mark, come back down to West Ridge Road,
and it's pretty smooth sailing past the 11-mile mark on around the ski slopes to the finish. So with those couple little motorcycle sections taken out, you guys are still about 11 miles. A lot of really good stuff out there. Couple rocks, couple roots, couple muddy spots, but nothing you guys can't handle. So good luck, be safe, have fun, and pay attention to the arrows, everybody.
All right, so now we have Taylor Jones. Taylor Jones is one of our female national champions. She has now moved over to our track crew. We are honored to have her as part of the track crew, and she is the lady that goes out and makes sure that the track is ready. So Taylor, what do you got for us?
Yeah, just like Jared said, it's muddy and rocky out there, but all the arrows are up. Keep your eyes up, and you'll be good to go. The track's inspected, and we're ready to go racing.
The track has been certified by Taylor Jones.
Safety first. GNCC racing, like all motorsports, can be dangerous. Racers, now that you have had an opportunity to inspect the race course, have heard the race procedures and a description of the course, if you feel that either you or your machine is not prepared, then now is the time for you to withdraw for a complete refund of your entry fee, no questions asked. It is your responsibility to operate your machine in a safe manner, maintaining control at all times. Extreme caution is required when approaching areas with high concentrations of fans. Do not take unnecessary risks that endanger the safety of fans. You will be penalized for reckless racing. Race fans, due to the nature of GNCC racing, there is no fence barrier around the race course. It is your responsibility to keep yourself and your children a safe distance from the race course. Never turn your back on oncoming racers and use extreme caution when crossing the race course. And remember, stay off the track. For the safety of everyone, unauthorized drones are prohibited and will be confiscated. Finally, unauthorized pit vehicles are prohibited and may be confiscated. Absolutely no pit vehicles permitted in the woods or on the racetrack. Crew members are prohibited from using pit vehicles during the race. Thank you for your cooperation. Have fun and race safe.
Cheer two. All right, without further ado, sorry about that, folks. We're very grateful to race up here on Snowshoe Mountain. And with that said, we will turn things over for Snowshoe representative, Mr. Preston Klein.
How's it going, Snowshoe GNCC? You've had plenty of time to recover. Let's try that again. You could do better. How's it going, Snowshoe GNCC? All right, on behalf of Snowshoe Mountain, we'd like to welcome you back to the 2023 edition of the Yamaha Snowshoe GNCC. We're glad that you made the trip up here to an elevation of 4848 in Pocahontas County, West Virginia. Looks like the ceiling is rising. I can see some blue skies, so hopefully we'll get this race underway without any of the liquid precipitation. But anyway, thanks again for coming up. Come back and see us throughout the summer. We have a slate of summer events that wrap up in September with the International Cycling Union Mountain Bike World Series at the end of September. So come back and see us this summer. Come back and visit us this winter. We're happy to have you here. We're happy to have you back anytime. I ask that you do me 3 favors. 1, respect each other. 2, respect our mountain. And 3, let's have some fun this weekend, right? All right, well, thanks again for coming. We look forward to having you. We look forward to having a great weekend, and we'll see you down at Howard's Hole.
All right, thank you, Preston. Folks, we still are on hold. We're listening to the communication. There's still a half a dozen quads stuck down on that side of the mountain, and they're slowly getting them out. So we're working, our team is working very hard to do that. Let's talk about your journey to Howard's Hole. How many are going to go to Howard's Hole? All right. So pay attention. On your way to Howard's Hole, You're going to go just past the finish line and past the registration area, and you'll follow the trail down to Howard's Hole. Remember, it's a live racetrack. You're going to cross over the racetrack a couple of times. So be very careful when you're heading down to Howard's Hole. These guys are competing for championships, and they're faster than you think. So be very careful. Once you're in Howard's Hole, good luck. Howard's Hole is a special place. Do you know how Howard's Hole got its name? Howard works for us. And Howard was down there after year 1 or year 2. He was trying to reclaim, and he got his bulldozer stuck. And so he went and got another bulldozer to get the first bulldozer stuck, and he got it stuck. And I think it took 3 bulldozers to get Howard's bulldozer out, and so we affectionately named it Howard's Hole. It isn't really that sexy. A lot of people thought it meant something different. But it is where Howard got his bulldozer stuck many years ago, and so it's been named Howard's Hole from that time on. So now you know the true legend behind Howard's Hole. Next year we'll come up with a better story. Tonight in the village, we'll have music in the village. We have our graduation ceremony. Many of our athletes graduated from school this summer, but they missed their graduation because they go racing. And so we do a graduation ceremony in the village at 6:30. If you have an athlete or someone that's part of our GNCC family, you can come up, go to registration, see Kayla, and Kayla will get you signed up, and you can graduate here in Snowshoe's Village this evening at 6:30. Then the music will start, and we will go until 11 o'clock. I want to thank you all because for the most part, everybody behaved last night until we stopped the music and it was time to go to bed, and then the chaos happened. I'm asking all of you to be leaders tonight. Let's have fun, but let's do it responsibly. And let's care for one another and care for this property. It's a hard sell, you can imagine. It's a hard sell for us to ask Snowshoe Mountain to let us come here and enjoy this 3 or 4 days. And so I ask all of you with your cooperation, it's okay to have fun, but let's do it responsibly. And for the most part, you did it responsibly last night. Those of you that didn't, you know, and we'd ask that you behave yourself tonight. GNCC will take some time off. And then in mid-September, we come back to West Virginia. We're actually at the Boy Scout Ranch, Bechtel Summit Reserve in Beckley, West Virginia. If you've never been to that property, I encourage that you come and see us. It is a 14,000-acre property that borders the national park, and it has $1 billion of infrastructure. It's an amazing property with zip lines that traverse over 3,000 feet. If you can think it, they have it at Bechtel Summit Reserve, and we will be there in mid-September. Then we are going to the Jennings Farm, also in West Virginia, in Kingwood, West Virginia, and we hope that we'll see you up there just outside of Kingwood. Then we end up out in Indiana. Where else do we go this fall? Am I missing one? It's just those 3. Yeah, and then we go out to the Ironman in Indiana, and we'll have a large concert out there. We encourage you to come out and enjoy it. There'll be about 13,000 of your brothers and sisters there celebrating our heritage of motorcycle and ATV racing, and that will finish it up. Also want to remind you that for the first time ever, Super Motocross will be coming to ZMAX Dragway in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's the first weekend in September. Well, I shouldn't say it's second weekend. It's not Labor Day. We'll be down at Charlotte Motor Speedway ZMAX Dragway and it will embark on the first time ever a 3-race series that will have $10 million up for grabs. And that's where all the pro motocross and supercross riders will be. Then we move over to Chicago, and then we end up in Los Angeles at the Los Angeles Coliseum, the birthplace of supercross, in late September. So a lot of action going on this fall. All right, for the folks watching at home on racertv.com, we just got word we're still a few minutes out from being able to set this thing off safely. That's a priority. Want to make sure we got a safe racetrack for you guys. So we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
All-new Yamaha YZ450F. Narrower, more compact, and lighter. Built to do one thing: go faster. Flexible financing options offered directly through Yamaha are available. See your local Yamaha dealer today.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment. Whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends, professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
Amsoil runs on freedom and has since 1972. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
Last season was my best season ever by far. I won a lot of races. I won a championship, and it was also my first year using ARMA. And one of the things I noticed was just my ability to string good days together. You know, like especially in the summertime in Florida where you're riding every day and the heat index is 108 degrees and you're doing 230s and going to the gym and bicycle and all that stuff. I think in the past I've been super inconsistent day to day. Yeah, I may have a a good race here or a good day during the week there, but overall I think where I improved the most was my consistency in my recovery.
GNCC Racing is brought to you by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
And welcome back to those watching at home on RacerTV.com. If you're just joining us here for the Yamaha Racing Snowshoe GNCC on a little bit of a delay, still got a few bikes we got to get out of the woods so that we have got a safe racetrack here today. Joined here on Racer TV, or at least in person, a voice of pro motocross, former voice of one of the voices of GNCC, Megawatt Matt Watson. Matt, I know why you're here, man, because you love racing. It's in your blood. It's up the road, sort of, literally. What brings you out today?
You know, first of all, it's an unbelievable opportunity to come to Snowshoe Mountain and race. You know, this thing lives on in the spirit of a thing called the Blackwater 100.
Yeah.
Long before there was GNCC racing, Mikey, there was a thing called the 100-miler series. And I have to tell you, the granddaddy of all 100-milers was the Blackwater 100. And I have to let you guys know right now that this is the closest thing you're going to find to the original Blackwater 100, Mikey. Now, these guys that we're calling mud fleas, they've got big shoes to fill.
Amen.
We were the originals, bro. And I was blessed to be there from about 82 on. We have such legendary names. Mark Hyde, of course, the winningest rider at Blackwater. Mark Hyde won 4 times. Eddie Lojak, an absolute animal there. And I have to tell you, it's only a few miles as the crow flies, a couple mountains over to the original hallowed ground of Blackwater. And this is as close as you're going to get, Mikey, to that. And we're just a few hills over, as I said, in Pocahontas County, West Virginia.
So beautiful. I would talk about the similarities. I mean, obviously we have the road start here at Snowshoe, very iconic. We're, maximum 5 riders wide. It just makes for a very interesting race day.
Absolutely, Mikey, and that's in the spirit and tradition of the original race. The original race started on Main Street, Davis, West Virginia, and it was hundreds of riders lined up as far as you could see. And what's great, Mikey, is it caused such a stir when the race first came out. All the guys from the West Coast, Dan of the Desert, Larry Rosalier, all these guys were going to come show us how to ride. Oh, toughest race in America. No way it's toughest race in America. Well, I can tell you this much. They sent the very best they had, and the very best they had made it about a lap and a half on their first attempt. And when we talk about similarities, elevation change, Mikey, we talk about the rocks. We had the legendary moon rocks over in Davis. We've got a different style of rock here just a bit. We have the bogs over there. We have similar soft spots and terrain here. Then we have the legendary Harrod's Hole, where you had the 93 river crossing over there that everybody dammed up and made so legendary. If anybody's watched any of those videos, you're going to see the comparisons right away. And Mikey, with the rain that we've had the last couple days, this thing's going to be an absolute beast today.
I'm ready for it. Hey, I'm telling you what, if the history lesson by Megawatt Matt Watson didn't give you cold chills, you're in for a special treat. If you're watching at home on RacerTV.com, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Adam, I think we've got a nice little quick highlight reel, some of those Blackwater 100 highlights. ladies and gentlemen, we are getting down to the nitty-gritty now. We thank you for your patience, and without further ado, at this time, we ask for your undivided attention as we turn the microphone over to Mr. Ricky Towery to lead us in a word of prayer.
All right. Thank you, Mikey. Hey, let's go, Lord, and let's have a word of prayer together this afternoon. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us all here safely. Lord, you brought us to such a beautiful place. So it looks so wonderful looking across these mountains. Lord, watch over these riders this afternoon as they go out here and tackle these mountains. Be with them, let them have a safe race. Lord, once again, continue to watch over our military men and women. They're in all parts of the world that we don't even know about. That's why we're free to come out here and have fun like we do. Be with our leaders at the high level and the local level, that they will make the right decisions for our country each and every day. And be with our local policemen, firemen, and paramedics, and all our communities throughout the United States every day, serving to protect us. Be with them and their families every day. Lord, we done had so much fun today already. We just ask you to let us have a couple more hours this afternoon. And then when we head down the road home today and tomorrow, take us all home safely so we can get back together again one day to have some more fun. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that, Ricky Towery. And now that we have our prayer wrapped up, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you, if you have not already, at this time, we ask you, please remove your hats and cross your hearts as we honor the greatest nation in the world with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
chills yet, you just wait. With the national anthem wrapped up now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, turn your attention down there into row number 1 and number 2 as we will introduce, in accordance to points, your top 10 riders here in 2023. Rolling to the line first, the number 1, your defending champion aboard the Phoenix Racing Yamaha, the Bidwell Bullet, Bryson Neal. Rolling to the line next, the number 3 out of Newfield, New York, on a Hunter Hart Racing and Ithaca Recreation Sports backed Yamaha, Hunter Hart. Rolling Rolling to the line next, the 5-2-1 out of Waverly, West by God, Virginia, on an Ober Tires and Moose Racing backed Honda, the Gator, Adam McGill. Rolling to the line next, the number 4 out of Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, on a Richardson Racing and Action Off-Road back Yamaha, the Coal Train, Cole Richardson. Rolling to the line next, the 7-1-2 out of Waxhaw, North Carolina, on a Pierce Performance and Action Off-Road backed Yamaha, John Glada Jr. Rolling to the line next, out of row number 2, the sensational rookie, the 6-2-1 out of Hillsboro, Ohio, on an SBR and GBC backed Yamaha, Wyatt Wilkin. Rolling to the line next, he's got a podium under his belt this season, coming on strong in 2023 out of Akron, Ohio, on an Action Off-Road and GBC backed Yamaha, Josh Merritt. Rolling to the line next, the number 6 out of Acme, Pennsylvania, on an Action Off-Road and Pro Graphics backed Yamaha, Jay Shadron. Rolling to the line next, the number 9 out of Pennsylvania, on a JMR, GBC, and Elka backed Honda, the Cobra, Jared McClure. And last but not least, he has been sensational in the XC2 Pro-Am class. Oh, no pressure, buddy, out of Elkridge, Maryland, on a B&R and Kinda-backed Yamaha, Steve Harrell. And that, ladies and gentlemen, your starting rows for row number 1 and row number 2. And they sit atop the top 10 in points here in 2023 on the mountain. And as they roll back up into starting position, you can feel it, baby. It is palpable. We are ready to get this underway as the clouds have dispersed. The views are beautiful up here on Snowshoe Mountain. And we are just about ready to set it off now for the Yamaha Racing Snowshoe GNCC. Still waiting on that okay so that we are safe to race. And then we'll hand the reins over to Ricky Towery, who will get us fired up and ready to roll here in just a moment. And as we wait for that moment, we take a look at how the season's gone so far. You know how the point standings look. We just called them out, your top 10. But coming off the big win, I got to hand it, Cole Richardson. He talked the talk, he walked the walk. Going into round number 8, he said, Mikey, I feel like I'm the guy. I'm the guy to beat today. And I thought, ooh, Cole Richardson, buddy, you got to be careful. There's a number 1 machine down at the end of this pro row. Going to have something to say about that. Cole said, I got this. He talked the talk, he walked the walk, came away. I don't know if you saw the footage as he came across the finish line, but to say that man left it all out on the racetrack, he had something coming out of the helmet that says, yes, he did leave it all out on the racetrack that day. Bryson Neal coming off a second place finish, and here we go! Ricky Towery now steps forward. And he will let our riders know. Adam McGill, you got some fans out there, but boy, Ricky Towery, he just might have you beat. There we go, 1 minute. 1 minute. And we are are just about ready to go. I got to make sure the people in the back heard, Big John. I don't want anybody complaining back there. I'd say they heard that when row number 1, Bryson Neal, Hunter Hart, Cole Richardson, Adam McGill, and John Glotta. As the adrenaline's pumping, everybody's got the phone out. Do it for the gram. I got to ask you, are you ready to go GNCC racing? Oh, that's pretty good, but this is Snowshoe Mountain. I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you ready to go GNCC racing? Oh, the Gator Adam McGill, the 521 with the early lead. Row number 2, Jay Shadron, Jared McClure, Josh Merritt, Steve Harrell, and Wyatt Wilkin. Jay Shadron gets turned around. He gets it corrected. He's back on the throttle. Row 3, Chris Warren, Grayson Eller, Brandon Owens, Austin Abney, and Ronnie Rush. And here comes Alex Tiemann, Lane McCormick, Dylan Walraven, Tanner Walker, and James Glotta. Row number 5. How about this? Welcome back, Brian Wolf. Welcome back, Walker Fowler. The 723. We're here for it. Jeremy Ladon, Gabriel Nod, Kenny Schick, and Chase Allison. Row number 8 coming up next. Charles Dunn III, Nate Harvey, Nick Royalty, and Dylan Hayes. Row number 9, Dalton Keys, Riley Salick, Alex Elioff, Zach Knight, and Corey Vandelander. Junior A20 plus. Here they come. Row number 10 now. Henry Moore, Colton Kushta, William Wallace, and Matthew Reese. William Wallace got some time to make up. Logan Case in row number 10. That's the 872. That's row 11. Justin Miller, William Walton, Devin Masters, and Colton Buck. Here comes row 12. Travis Blanish and DJ Malo. Out of that junior A20 plus. Here we go with the college A16 to 19. Keaton Henderson, Andre Williams, Elijah Edmondson, and Dayton Hickey. Green flag waves, row number 14. Charlie Stewart, Elijah Martin, Dominic Stevens, Bryson Slagle, and Lane Felder. Row number 15 now, College A, Cody Forrester, Parker Henderson, Trevor Furby, and Chance Hickey. Row number 16 now, Briggs Lazelle, Christopher Howard, Connor Brandt, Tavin Cook, and Michael Horwath. Row 17, that's the 407 out front. That's Jace Cooper, Seth Blake out there, Kai Arbogast, Tyler Cox, and Braxton Gross. There goes Brad Whitehead, Dirk DeSarcy, TJ Barrett, and Zachary Phillips. Row number 19 now, the Marlboro Man, Todd Muscala, as well as Derek Hart, Paul Myers, and Michael Hayes. Row number 20, oh, you got to make some noise for the man, Jeremy Fontaine. And he's rolling. Chris Conklin out there somewhere. Nick Davidson, Christopher Merton Kirby, and Dave Machisco. The 408, Christopher Kirby. Hey, Robbins Racing, we're here for it, baby. Row 25, Connor Adar, Devin Temple, Andrew Davidich, and Travis Dudley. Here we go with row number 26, Hunter Boyle, Trace Furby, Paul McCloskey, Logan Bishop, and Gino Fratelli. Row number 27 now, Junior B 19 plus. It's Colby Clark, Austin Newsom, Joseph Davis, Easton Snyder, and Brandon Cutlip. Row number 28 now, Junior B 19 plus. Rigdon Doran, Ethan Troyer, and Bryson Dixon. Row number 29, Junior B 19 plus. Michael Worth, Caleb Adar, and Trey Easter. Oh, the 629 having some trouble right there. Trey turns it around. Row number 30, David Witt, Denton White, Nicholas Derry, Nick Foreman, and Aiden Jones. Here we go with row number 31. Oh, caution, caution, rider down, rider down, rider down. William Whitty, Bryson Bellamy, Jack Neely, Andrew Adams, and Tate Long. Pay attention to Ricky Towery now. Waiting on the okay from our track officials, and we'll be off and rolling. And still have the caution flags out. We're moving an ATV off of the course and waiting on the okay. And still holding. Pay attention to Ricky Towery with the waving of the green flag. And here we go. We got it, and we are set to go in 10 seconds. Bang, and we're off, back rolling. Gotta keep your head on a swivel. It's a 980 out in front. That was Cody Whitaker. Alex Goss, Adam Safel, row number 34, James Berger and Caden Boland and Ryan Hendershot. Woo, slip sliding. Ryan Hendershot having some fun. Row 36, Shane Worth, Ricky Lewis, Jason Lemley, Travis Fleming, and Mike Horwatt. 744 on the machine out front. That is Mike Horwatt on that Senior B 40 plus. Row 37, Jason Noble, Tim McIntyre, Greg Phillips, Bobby McCulley, and Paul Brady III. The 304 on the jersey, leading it out in front. Row 38, Lyle Morrison, Bruce Miller, Edward Schufer, David Kite, and Jason Lant. Bang! Green flag flies again. Taylor Griffith, Ken Bauer, John Higgins, and Robert Henson, Vet B 30 plus. Woo, getting a little wild. Here they come. Sticking to the inside. 187, Zachary Hill and Mark Delano. Patrick Meggs, Mark Gersk, and Daniel Norman. And Jake Stevens, the 474, rolling through out of that Vet B 30 plus. And are we good? I think we're good down there. Woo! Snowshoe GNCC, nothing like it. You're part of it if you're here. We love it. That's going to wrap things up for us down here for the moment. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be back with more from the Yamaha Racing Snowshoe GNCC.
All-new Yamaha YZ450F. Narrower, more compact, and lighter. Built to do one thing: go faster. Flexible financing options offered directly through Yamaha are available. See your local Yamaha dealer today.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
Amsoil runs on freedom and has since 1972. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
Last season was my best season ever by far. I won a lot of races. I won the championship, and it was also my first year using ARMA. And one of the things I noticed was just my ability to string good days together. You know, like especially in the summertime in Florida where you're riding every day and the heat index is 108 degrees and you're doing 230s and going to the gym and bicycle and all that stuff. I think in the past I've been super inconsistent day to day. Yeah, I may have a good race here or a good day during the week there, but overall I think where I improved the most was my consistency in my recovery.
GNCC Racing is brought to you by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
Hello everyone out there and on Racer TV, welcome back to the 2023 Yamaha Racing Snowshoe GNCC here in gorgeous West Virginia. We are off to a muddy round number 9 of the Grand National Cross Country Series presented by Specialized and AMA National Championship. My name is Jackson Burrow and I'm alongside Zach Heron and Cody Collier. Stay tuned as Zach will be taking us through the start recap momentarily.
Yeah, thanks, Jackson. We are off and rolling here. It's been a muddy one. Nobody's shock out here at Snowshoe. Going to take a look at the Specialized start recap, the signature Snowshoe start. And there is Ricky Tower waving the green flag. And who else but the Gator himself? He's calling it the McGill Mountain. He's grabbing the early race lead, grabbing the whole shot. There you see him racing down the hill. Look at the fans out here at Snowshoe, West Virginia, cheering on all of their favorite riders. Now, it looks like that should be Cole Richardson sitting in the second place spot there. And then I believe Bryson Neal got caught up on the inside of that first turn. So he was not up towards the front. Now, as we see the first bike coming through, I don't believe that is Adam McGill. I think that might be Cole Richardson. We've been trying to look and figure it out there in the truck. Possibly Hunter Hart in second. That looks like that may be Bryson Neal there in third. There's John Glotta. That is Hunter Hart. Oh, wow, we've got Wyatt Wilkin. Okay. And then it looks like we've got some confetti flying. As you can see, Howard's Hole in full effect down here. Fans going absolutely crazy, holding the big arrows there, pointing the lines, trying to direct. There is the 11 of Josh Merritt coming through as well. Look, one rider with a beach ball caught underneath the quad there, having to get up and over that.
Anything can happen in Howard's Hole.
I'm telling you what, now that 723 right there, you guys may not know, that is Walker Fowler. He is back on the quad and back out there racing. I said, Walker, realistically, what's a goal you're expecting? He said, oh, what are you talking about? I want to put it on the box. And so Walker Fowler, not getting the best jumps, but he feels like here in these first couple laps, he'll be able to make some quick passes and get up there. But look at this, just absolute chaos down here at Howard's Hole. And Jackson, whoa, one rider almost coming back off the back of the quad. We're going to be down here in just a little bit. I'm pretty excited to see it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Speaking of Walker Fowler, if you don't know, Walker Fowler is the second winningest ATV rider in GNCC history with 73 wins.
Now, this is a pretty cool onboard that we're getting. This is an actual look of the course these riders are going to be going through. Now, this was taken yesterday, so it's obviously going to look a little different, a little more chewed up, a little more beat, but we've got an awesome onboard camera here. Thanks to our producer, Adam, for getting us that inside look just to kind of give you guys an idea how rough it is out there. And if one word could describe this course, if you ask me, Jackson, it's rocky.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It is super rocky out here. It's been raining all day. The mud's been coming out. Zach, we've been saying it would almost be a good thing if some more rain would come and wash these rocks off so the riders can get a little bit of traction.
Yeah, it has been exciting as now we take a look at the Yamaha Racing track map here from the Yamaha Racing Snowshoe GNCC. Blue crew flying all around here. But man, what a track we have in store, weaving all over this course. A little different than some of the snowshoe courses we've been told that they've had of other years, but exciting stuff. And of course, the infamous Howard's Hole right over there by the Monster Energy Mile. Jackson, it's going to be exciting. We've been watching the racing all day long. It's made for some great battling, both in our youth race and our AM race, and I'm only expecting the same here in the afternoon pro race. Now, this is a really exciting thing, Jackson. We've been talking about this. Adam put this graphic together, the points situation that's been going on here in the ATV class.
Bryson Neal is your points leader, as you'll see here. Hunter Hart, he's going to be sitting in second. Adam McGill, the Gator, is sitting in third. So you can see him there. Bryson is the yellow and orange line up there at the top, of course. Hunter Hart below him there. And Adam McGill just hanging on to third against Cole Richardson.
Yeah, McGill really seeming to come to life there. That darker orange line really starting to shoot up towards the top over these last few rounds. Now looks like, I'm not 100% sure whether this is our lead pack or not. We're getting a look at some of the riders coming through here, and wow, looks like going along with the rocks, we got plenty of roots to throw in there as well.
And Cody, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this mountain runs north to south, so there's an east and a west side. The east side is where Howard's Hole and all that is, the more technical kind of stuff, and then the west side is where the ski slopes is that correct?
West side actually has Howard's Hole with it. West side has Howard's Hole with it, and then it's all, I'm trying, it's on. Sorry about that, everyone having some technical difficulties with one of the mics. But yeah, no, the east side of the mountain is normally the more technical side. There's no ski slopes on that side of the mountain, and that's just straight wood, straight rock, straight gnarly on that east side of the mountain. Once you get to the west side of the mountain where we go off the start, that's where the ski slopes are in Howard's Hole, and that's one of the more open side of the mountains. I prefer the east side of the mountain, that technical stuff, but that's a little bit of everything for everyone here.
Now, while we were going through that, we did have our leaders come through on screen. It was Cole Richardson leading the way. Jay Shadron, who is a dark horse here at Snowshoe, sitting in the second place spot.
But he would be ahead of him on corrected time.
Yes, but he would be. Johnny G hitting here behind me. He's saying he's be in front of him on corrected time, which is a whole nother twist and curve that we got to mention as well. Now, third on course, we were seeing.
Third was Bryson Neal.
Bryson Neal now moving into that podium spot on track.
Walker Fowler sitting physically 10th and 25 seconds ahead in the overall.
Walker Fowler sitting 10th on track and 25 seconds ahead on corrected overall time. So some exciting stuff going on. And when I talked to Walker, this is what he was hoping for. He said he wanted to take advantage, thought those first couple rows would have some difficulties pushing the water out of the way, and he would be able to take advantage of it. And I mean, Walker Fowler, I guess he knows what he's talking about. He's been there, done that a few times. And so excited to see what Walker is able to do here in his return to GNCC. Now the conditions clearly, Cody, you were out there not too long ago. It looked like it was raining a whole lot harder out there in your race. But what do you think? Oh, one rider flipping going down the hill there, end over end coming down the hill. What challenges are they seeing out there?
I mean, this is one of them here, coming off a really high-paced section to a blind drop off into a sharp right-hander at the bottom of the hill. Definitely makes it tough on everyone. With the rain that we got, the weatherman lied to us, said we weren't going to get any rain, and it started pouring on us during the middle of the race, and it just made it cold and slick, and everything just dug out. And this is one of the gnarly years of snowshoe I've gotten to run.
Yeah, now we're seeing one of the fans there. I guess that would classify as a GNCC mud flea, trying to get out there and let the riders know we got a down rider up ahead. You see him just kind of standing off there to the side, not sure if he's able to get that quad flip back over or what. But yeah, to your point there, Cody, it looks like a particularly brutal year of snowshoe racing. I know I've gone back, watched some previous race footage, but our first time here in person, and it's living up to the hype.
Yeah. Everything's just deep here. It's dug out. It's rocky, rooty. All the stereotypes of snowshoe are amplified here today.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch for sure. Now, McGill grabbing that early lead, but not sure exactly what happened. We don't know whether he took another line at Howard's Hole. We lost him there on camera, but Cole Richardson was out front leading the way with Shadron sitting there in second.
Till our next shot.
Now we welcome Johnny G here into the booth. And Johnny, It's wild going on out there.
Well, it's Snowshoe, boys, and this is what Snowshoe is. It throws some curveballs, and these guys got to learn how to hit them. Like you said, Adam McGill taking that early lead. Obviously, whether it was a case of an improper line or a mistake, or maybe those other guys just making passes. Cole Richardson is bad fast. We know that. Adam's smart, though. I mean, he knows you cannot win this on the first lap, but you surely can lose it. But, yeah, I mean, a big shakeup. And, one thing that you're going to hear us talking about throughout the show today is the corrected time aspect of this. We only do this once a year in terms of within the individual classes. Obviously, it's always corrected time between rows, but in this case, it's individual rows of only 5, not your full class. So in the case of right now, like we talked about, Cole Richardson leading the way, but right on his rear bumper is Jay Shadron, who started in row 2, meaning when you correct that time, he's actually physically beating him, even though he's behind him. It gets a little complicated, but we'll work it out all for you, and we'll give you some graphics on screen to show you how it works. But at our last count, we had somebody up at the top of the mountain. It was the leader on corrected time would have been Walker Fowler. He started on row 5, meaning he started about 50 seconds back. He was only 25 seconds back of the physical leader, Cole Richardson, meaning he has, give or take, about a 25-second lead once you correct that time. Adam McGill looked like when he came by in this camera shot right here, Zach, looked like he was running about that 6th place spot, so still solidly in there with the leaders. So those fans looking to see if Adam McGill can take it back and give it back the name McGill Mountain. He's in the fight, folks. He's out there, and pretty soon, well, not too soon, but we'll be getting a shot from Howard's Hole, and we know that there was a term coined last night, the McGill Billies. Oh, yeah. So all the McGill fans that are here, I heard they are starting to be called McGill Billies. So they're here, they're living it up, and they're enjoying it. And it's Cody, you obviously were out there today. How much would you like to trade out the conditions you got the race in for what you're seeing right now with sunshine and a little bit of warmth? You guys look like you were freezing when you came off the track this morning.
We at least got a good first 2 laps before the rain started to hit, and then once the rain started to hit and all that. The worst thing about this track, I gotta say, is the overhanging trees where we've thrown all the mud onto it. All the trees are just eye level and just smacking you in the helmet in the face for from the 3 to the 10 pretty much for 7 miles. You're just getting beat on by these trees, ruining your goggles, ruining your vision, and my eyes are all puffy and swollen up from I got grit in my eyes, and it's something that everyone out here is going to have to deal with today. So I'm glad I got the first 2 laps in.
So you got 2 laps of good before it went sideways, but that's a great position, a great point to talk about. Vision is going to be key. Saw a lot of you guys coming across the finish line at the end of that AM race. Eyes, there was a lot of water bottles being holes poked in them, use them as squirters, trying to rinse those eyes out. Folks, it is brutal when you're trying to keep pace when you can't see. Obviously, you have to be able to see to pick lines and to be safe. But at the same time, with the ATVs, the thing people don't understand is you actually roost yourself with your front tires. So even if you're not behind someone, typically on a dirt bike, if you're just riding along, you don't have much stuff flying at you. But on an ATV, your front tires will throw up, especially in conditions like this, what we call slurry. When you have the mud mixed with the water, it makes this slurry, slimy, kind of just gritty substance that flies up into the air, and it's a mist, and you're just constantly roosting yourself with it. Makes it so tough to keep those goggles clear, no matter how many times you pull those. Look at this. We got the signs. Folks, this is the look at what this place is all about. Snowshoe Mountain is known for 2 things: skiing and Howard's Hole. And this is the GNCC version of Snowshoe Mountain right here. That is absolute pandemonium, and we couldn't be happier to be a part of it. Yes, that is not trick photography, folks. We're not having this on a loop. We're still panning, and those are still more people, and the riders are going to race right through the middle of it.
Yeah, I why did the free Howard's Hole for the AM race? Come on.
I was waiting on Cody to be like, why doesn't the AM run the Howard's Hole?
We've got audio from Howard's Hole. Listen to that.
That's dangerous.
That is the audio, folks. That's what it sounds like down there. You can see the blue shirt there in the middle with the headset. That is actually a team coordinator. Looked like it was one of Bryson Neal's guys from that Phoenix Yamaha team. You can see we got some people look like they're at a beach down there. We've got looks like we got some party hats that hold some waters so they can
stay hydrated.
Yeah, stay hydrated. But racing, looking at this from a racing standpoint, it does present a unique challenge, Cody, as you know from your many years of running this in the afternoon race in the XC1 class. You can go down there and you can preview this section. You can pick your line out. When you get there, it doesn't matter. The crowd is going to determine where you're going and where they're going to essentially allow you to go. And right now, it's nothing but mayhem. But as soon as these riders start coming and dropping off that rock, you can see just behind the McGill Mountain sign, it's going to be, they're your best friend and your worst enemy all at the same time. They're pointing into lines. They're not giving you the opportunity to kind of choose them. But if you do get stuck, they're going to carry you right out of there.
Yeah, it's definitely a different style of mud hole section and trouble section, but you're going to get through it with all the mud holes helping you out.
And one thing we have talked about previously on Racer TV when we show this on Saturdays and on Sundays, we talk about Howard's Hole, and this is where we have a camera set up. But this section of racetrack actually stretches nearly half a mile. And the hole itself, this is the center. It drops off a rock, comes into where the most water and the most mud is. But that mud and water kind of gets drugged down. If you keep panning left there past that Monster Energy can, as you know, that hole just stretches and stretches and stretches. You have like 3 more water crossings, a bridge, and then it goes into another muddy section. So it doesn't get any easier for about another half mile until you pop out to the ski slope. So this is where everyone congregates. This is kind of the party area, but the adversity and the challenges for the riders are spread all across this mountain.
It doesn't stop. I mean, even on the ski slopes, you're trying to ride that pace and then watch out for them kickers, as you know all too well about, Johnny. And it's just a tricky track every inch for all the rocks and roots. Yeah, there's the quarter mile coming into this. It's a tricky downhill section.
Probably the steepest. I would argue probably the steepest continuous downhill in GNCC racing.
And that's just coming into Howard's Hole. And then you get to Howard's Hole and deal with all this pandemonium. And then like you said, all the water gets drugged out into the next section until you get to that next ski slope. It's all dug out from years past. If you don't stay up in that high line, it's just dug out and you're just going to get in that water and in those holes.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but you can see right now this gentleman is up to the challenge. He is going to finish that Pepsi and get it drunk before the riders come through, and they will be ready to take on their role as official GNCC mud fleas. They will lift, they will push, they will move debris out of the way, they will do whatever it takes. I have a feeling, you know, when these riders start coming through, you're going to see they're even going to try to wash the riders off. They'll go ahead and shake up their Pepsis and they'll spray them all over the riders to try to clean a little bit of the mud off to help their vision and just kind of clean the machines off to keep them a little lighter.
I got to say, I've never been more jealous of the new guys, the new announcers, because they get to go down there. They're headed down there now. Probably primarily because I don't know that, like, seeing it is believing it. You have to experience it first and foremost. But we'll get a pit report from down there most likely, which will be cool.
When you walk into this section, you know, like we just talked about a moment ago, Cody, like you've pedaled this, you've walked this, you get down there, and on a Thursday, on a Friday, you know, it's pretty unassuming. It's like, okay, yeah, this is a pretty tough section. But unless you've seen it like this, you just can't even wrap your head around. And when you come down oh, here we go. Looks like we do have
there's a race
screen. And out front, that looks to be
Cole with the red on the fenders.
It is still Cole Richardson, yep. The number 4 machine out front leading the way. Winner just a few weeks ago at Mason-Dixon. Jay Shadron close behind him, still holding on to that number 2 spot. Looks like it may have still been Bryson Neal, but we missed him there in 3rd.
There's Sneaky Snake in there. It looks like Josh Merritt, Jr. Not sure who that is. Maybe Wilkin or Abney.
That one's hard to miss. That there is Walker Fowler with the goggles. Oh, it looked like they were hanging off his handlebars, but then he still had a pair on. Maybe that was part of his gauntlet hanging down. But still, at the 10-mile marker, they have not yet completed 1 full lap. Now we get to our next camera shot. There is Cole Richardson. It is still Jay Shadron in 2nd. Oh, we kind of jumped there a little bit, so we'll see if we can figure out exactly. We may see some pit stops here for goggles. A lot of these guys, you know, really using up a lot of film. You can see towels grabbed there. That's the number 3 of Hunter Hart, grabbing some towels so he can hold on a little tighter. Looked like that was Wyatt Wilkin, Jared McClure, Josh Merritt. Whoa, that was a close one. John Glauda Jr. Looks like that was, Stephen Harrell, your XC2 points leader, and that was
Walker?
Yeah, 723 of Walker Fowler. And then, we got some fans lining the track here and checking out the action in the GBC Tires pit stop area. You can see no pit stops, though, surprisingly. I really would have thought we would have seen at least 1 or 2 of those guys come in and get some fresh goggles.
I stopped for goggles at the end of my first lap, and Landon kindly blew them apart within a mile. So,
Here we go. Another shot of our leaders. Cole Richardson still leading at the downhill, now just past the 10-mile marker, and still in the same running order there. Again is the 621 Dirt Nasty action off-road machine of Wyatt Wilkin. Jared McClure, the Sneaky Snake, has won up here on the mountain before. Back out front, Cole Richardson. Interesting section of race racetrack here, folks. This is high gear on the pavement, just letting it eat. It's almost like the Daytona 500 out there, man. These guys, but look at this. Looks like we may have a move for trying to make a pass here. That's a sketchy spot. As you know, Cody, it gets slick on that pavement with tires that are meant for off-road.
Yeah, going real fast and real left. The grooves don't, the knobs don't do well. You need more of a groove to get some traction there. And we've just drug all sorts of gravel and all the moisture. It definitely makes it slick.
Oh, he's going for it. I think that's Hunter Hart. Looks like he's trying to put a pass on maybe Bryson Neal. I think that's Neal in the 3rd spot and Hunter Hart applying heavy pressure from behind in the 4th spot there. So Hunter feeling racy today, putting pressure on the defending champion. That is your top 4 as they run. Just out of the camera shot at the top there is Cole Richardson, Jay Shadron, Bryson Neal, and Hunter Hart. And you can see water just splashing. So now Hunter wisely backing off just a little bit and saving those goggles. They're climbing their way up here, and they will be coming in to complete lap number 1.
Couple of things, Johnny Gallagher. One, I don't know if you guys have talked about it already. I'm sure you have. The presence of Walker Fowler. Welcome back, first and foremost, to your
Mikey,
buddy.
We have news.
Oh, really?
Well, we'll find out officially, but at the top of the mountain, Walker was leading by 25 seconds on correct
Get
time.
out of here.
Starting from round 5.
Okay, yeah.
That was based on kind of phone math.
Sure.
What we have to let our scoring system do the scoring.
He's certainly, from a Walker Fowler perspective, we don't know where he's at physically. Walker does. This is a great test for him. But also Brian Wolf.
Yeah.
I mean, it just as cool as it gets. The two of them on their own row, pulling wheelies, like just as cool as it gets.
Absolutely, and they look like they were having fun out there. But the guy having the most fun right now and not having to eat any roost is Cole Richardson. Checking in, and we'll see if we can get live scoring to refresh here and get official scoring as it comes in. So Jay Shadron, again, will pop up as your leader despite the fact being physically second. As they come in, this will correct, so just give us a few moments here. You're seeing the guys come through in the same order. There is Josh Merritt. Looks like we do have Chris Borch still over on the GBC Tires pit stop side, so he still has to go all the way around the mountain, looking like he's having some trouble. They're putting some towels on the grips there so he can hang on. So a good little bit behind for him right now. And as it updates, Cody, you want to do the honors?
Yeah, Walker Fowler is your overall leader right now, coming from row 10, you said?
Row 5.
Row 5, 10 seconds per row.
So we're getting a little wonky thing with the time behind thing there, so we're going to have to ignore that. But it is showing him physically in the overall lead.
Yeah, if you look at a lapse time, he has a 4-second gap over Cole Richardson.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, your time behind is going to show them like the rows they took off in, so that'll be a little screwy.
Yep, so the lap time. So it has tightened up quite a bit. Well, Jay Shadron, he has 4 seconds over Jay Shadron, and then Jay has 7 seconds over Cole Richardson. So essentially 10 seconds separating your top 3 on corrected time. Walker Fowler, Jay Shadron, Cole Richardson. Wyatt Wilkin up into that 4th spot, even though he's physically running about 6th on that time correction. He moves up to 4th. Jared McClure 5th. Bryson Neal 6th, Josh Merritt 7th, Hunter Hart all the way back in the 8th spot. Although we saw him putting pressure physically for 3rd, that's how wild that corrected time could be. Stephen Harrell in 9th, John Glauda Jr. in 10th, Austin Abney 11th, Ronnie Rush and Brandon Owens rounding out the top 13 that have checked in so far.
Johnny, a couple unique scenarios. One, obviously a lot of hype about Adam McGill in the mountain and the conversation between him and Walker Fowler. You've got Bryson Neal, who's the points leader, and then you've got Cole Richardson coming off a win. Go ahead, Johnny.
Speaking of the hype, Adam McGill not checked in.
I was getting ready to ask that. Donde está the Gator?
Now, hold on. He rides a Honda. They're whoa, no, this is not a bash. They do tend to have problems with the transponders on the Honda machines, so we do need to confirm with scoring to make sure that he physically actually has not checked in. I know Jared McClure also has transponder issues quite often. Something with the electrical system on those machines often interferes with the frequency on the transponders. So don't panic, McGill Billies. But as our scoring shows it, Adam McGill not yet checked in. With if we refresh that and hit enter, Cody, are we still at 14? Still nobody. So top 14, Lane McCormick from that XC2 class has checked in 14th place overall. And this is one of those things we only see at Snowshoe. Look at the gaps, guys. I mean, we're just waiting, and now it looks like we're finally going to get a 15th overall rider checking in. Looks like it might be James Glauda, possibly. Yeah. And as he checks in, hasn't refreshed yet. It is the 928 machine of James Glaude from that XC2 class. Here it is, folks, Howard's Hole. Jay Shadron has made the pass, taken over the lead physically.
Must have had a line on one of those downhills.
Yep. You can see they're taking a different line through Howard's Hole.
Yeah, I actually got to talk to Cole a little bit before the race. He said this is the first year he's actually got to do some testing on the monster truck tires. Like every year he's kind of throw them on and wing it, and he's like, I spent all week testing these tall tires, so he knows what to expect this weekend.
These guys have opened up a big gap. Something happened there on the downhill.
Is that Wyatt?
Yep, Wyatt physically third now.
Something happened to Bryson.
Yeah.
Bryson Hunter were third and fourth.
Yeah, I think they went that line to the right there.
Oh, pan left. What's going on? What's going on to the left?
John Glaude Jr., the fans are trying to get him turned around and send him the other direction. Josh Merritt actually making the pass on him there.
That's just unfortunate for Junior there.
Looks like that might actually be Walker Fowler that's stuck, because he was the rider ahead of Jared McClure, and McClure's still sitting there waiting while the fans are playing volleyball.
Help him out, please. And now they're definitely telling Jared, hey, you got to go back the other way. We're gridlocked.
Stuck. Well, let's see. I want to see who's stuck.
Yeah, well, maybe we can get that camera to pan left and see who that is. Is that, in fact, our overall leader, Walker Fowler, who is stuck there to the left? Oh, it's a bunch of riders.
Yeah, we got a convoy. Can't quite see who that was right there.
So Walker is waiting his turn to even try to go, so another rider was stuck, and Walker making it with no issues. That was just unfortunate right there. He lost probably every bit of a minute right there.
And same with McClure right there. I mean, it was a good line, but that's Howard Toll. I mean, it takes one rider to get hung up, and if you're, in a convoy, a line of riders, you're at the mercy of the mud fleas.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Looks like we can show it on screen. Looks like Walker Fowler is your leader. He is not any longer. He is probably well back, barely on the tail end of the top 10 when you correct the time. He was passed physically.
Adam McGill is done racing.
Folks, Adam McGill is done for the day and hanging out in Howard's Hole. That is him holding the McGill Mountain sign. So something we don't have to worry about a transponder issue.
That's right. You know what? And Adam, at this point, he's like, I'm not racing the rest of the day. I'm gonna go into spectator mode.
And he's got himself a Pepsi.
And he's got himself, I think that's a squirt, actually.
Yeah, the green squirt. Green squirt. Yellow, whatever.
Green and yellow. I'm sure that's what it is.
Only at Snowshoe, guys.
Only at Snowshoe. Hey, if you can't beat them, join them, right?
That's right. That's right.
He does say, win or lose, it's going to be a party. And it's a party.
Oh, there is actually the CEO of Howard's Hole. I heard about this. Have you heard about this?
I have not.
So apparently they have a CEO. They had a schedule that came out. There was a volleyball tournament earlier. I was being told about this earlier.
Fantastic.
So that there is the CEO. He's the one that has the McGill Mountain sign. So Adam took that from him. Don't know where Adam traveled from to get to Howard's Hole when his machine expired, but he's pointing at the camera and letting us know. So McGill pits, if you didn't already know, Adam is done for the day, at least with the racing part, but I think his day is really, truly just getting started.
It is definitely just getting started.
All right, now back to some racing action. Looks like we're getting some XC2 riders working their way through. We do know there was a big gap to Lane McCormick. Looks like this is James Glaude now, and this shows you the difference. These guys just breezing right through that line when it was blocked up earlier, when Jared McClure and Walker Fowler were stuck waiting. There's no way to go around. There was a machine stuck there in the trail. They had to wait until it was moved so they could even make their shot, and then they both made it through absolutely no problem at all. That is always the struggle, the challenge, and quite frankly, the frustration of Howard's Hole is there's so many lines through there, but when it packs full of people, there's really really just the one line up the middle, and it looks like they allowed that line to the right to happen. But there's lines all through here. There's a line to the left of the one we're looking at. There's one to the right, but you can't get to them. You can't see it. You lose your frame of reference.
It's so interesting. Obviously, ATV is so huge up here on the mountain, so we have the big crowd. Tomorrow, I mean, it's like a night and day difference. And to your point, Johnny, you get kind of a glimpse of just how many line choices are realistically are at Howard's Hole.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty wild how you could see it, like you said, tomorrow when you actually there's a few dozen people instead of a few thousand in Howard's Hole, and the guys can kind of choose any line and go in. Obviously, on two wheels too, you have more line options. You can fit more places. You can pivot more easily. But you can see we've got some more XC2 and A-class riders. Looks like that might be Alex Thiemann, the only A rider that was in the top 20.
I think that's Canadian Waka Flocka.
Oh, is that Gabby? Yeah, you're correct. That's Gabriel Nod. Oh, looking like he's getting hung up there.
Just like Waka Flocka.
Ooh. And you can see there's the option line to the right. So much water has come as a result of the rain over the last 2 days. It's just, it filled up so quickly. This was dry on Thursday.
Goodness. What a unique spot. It's
pandemonium.
It's not of this planet. It's really not.
The McGill Mountain sign is essentially unreadable at this point.
You catch yourself in spectator mode with it. This guy just loves getting roosted, I guess.
Yeah, evidently.
He said, "I'm here to help."
I think
that's my rider. I'm making sure he gets through.
I think that may have been Alex Elioff, one of the
was it really?
Junior A riders, meaning he's really far up there in the overall. The way he's running right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see him inside the top 20.
We actually have one amateur rider in the top 20, and it's Matthew Reese from the Junior A class out of Elmira, New York.
There you go.
How is, we had one rider in the top 10 out of the XC2, that being Steve Harrell. How's he doing?
He's
ninth?
got
Ninth.
go ahead. Overall. He's Steven's 9th overall. 9th overall, and the next XC2 guy is Lane McCormick back in 14th overall.
Okay. So, hey, leading class.
Here we're seeing our leaders on screen. I think it was likely our leader, Jay Shadron, already through and gone. There is Cole Richardson. That looks to be and is Bryson Neal, the #1 machine. So that is your top 3 physically, unless I missed someone when I looked away and we were looking at the overall. We did see those guys kind of go to the right, and the way the camera was, we couldn't exactly see how they exited, but if they left in the same order they came, that is what we're seeing. And then we go to look at this. Is this the number
3?
Yeah, the number 3 of Hunter Hart, still there in that number 4 spot. No goggles for Hunter, though, so obviously that could be an issue moving forward. He's got about another 6 miles until he has the opportunity if he waits until he gets to the pits.
Looks like a junior there.
Looking like, yeah, John Glauda Jr. there in 5th. Josh Merritt in 6th. Abney in 7th.
Harrell? And Bowens.
Yeah, it looked like Brandon Owens.
Was it Brandon Owens?
Yeah, it looked like Bowens there.
Looked like he really came up. He must have got through Howard's Hole really cleanly when those other guys were hung up. And then maybe we see the 7:23.
I believe so.
Yeah, so he definitely lost a good bit of time. But he's also made up a bunch because some of these guys, heck, that's Wyatt Wilkin.
I think that's who was stuck.
Oh, must have been because he was the third one to come through the hole. So, and then there is Jared McClure. So those guys back on track, but maybe not quite a minute, but every bit of 30, 40 seconds they lost there. And they're trying hard to get together to push to get that time made back up. Then we go back to what looks to be Ronnie Rush. He's just a little guy. You can pick him out. Had a great ride here. One of his season best performances last year at Snowshoe. Rides these conditions really well. A Pennsylvania kid that is used to the slick rocks and roots and rides these conditions very, very well. So we'll look for big things out of him today.
Yeah, and he's able to duck right underneath all those trees that are hanging on your interface.
There you go, Cody. You were talking earlier about those trees hanging down. You're on that big, tall 4x4, and you're 6'1". Ronnie's out there. He's 4'11", and he's on the sport quad.
Oh,
so he
Ronnie.
just goes right under those. I'm not making fun of him. I'm only 5'3" myself.
Oh, stop. I don't believe you. And then you got John Glauda, who's 7'11".
That's the first time I've ever been
he's 7'12".
7'12".
That's his number.
7'12".
7'12".
Yeah, you're right. I get it. That makes 8 feet, I think.
Listen, Cody, to short guys like me, you're tall. So
I ain't that tall. I ain't 6 foot. I ain't no 6-footer.
Well, when you start having to use quarters and 3/4,
that's right.
That's where I'm at. I'm like 5'9" and 3/4.
Have you started shrinking yet, John?
Oh, yeah.
Are you getting to that
there.
age?
I don't.
I'm not far behind you, buddy.
Wade McCormick there.
Yep. So that was 14th overall, but second in XC2. No, Brandon Owens.
Yeah, he's passed him now. Yes, yeah, absolutely. You're right.
So
You're right.
we didn't see Brandon Owens in a rundown, so maybe that is an issue with the transponder. Where did we?
Oh, Bowens was ahead of Lane in the
so
first
13.
place. I'm just missing it.
No, we both missed him there. So Brandon Owens 13th overall, Lane McCormick 14th. Again, when we give you these updates on positions, keep in mind we are getting the official, what you're looking at where it says unofficial. Scoring only comes in once a lap. These guys do hit multiple checkpoints, and look at this, folks. We are going to get it live. We're going to get the pit report, except instead, today it's going to be called the whole report.
All right, guys. Oh, let me get a 10 seconds. The fans are going crazy. We got racing action on right now. This is GNCC Racing. This is what Snowshoe's all about.
I'm sorry.
Folks, don't tell them I turned the microphone off. We're having a great time down here at Howard's Hole. It's going down. Fans pointing at the alleyway through here. We got more riders coming through. These are the mud fleas. This is what it's all about. As you can see, mud flying. Everybody having a great time down here at the hole.
All right, here we see on screen now, back from Howard's Hole at the 5-mile marker, Bryson Neal coming by, looking like he's actually now gotten around Cole Richardson and Jay Shadron, we believe, still out front?
We assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, we did get an update. As we were coming back to that camera, he was there still leading, but Bryson Neal has made the move into second physically. Hunter Hart physically fourth. Again, with the time corrections, you can see those on screen, but we're going to be showing them to you as they run physically, and that is your top 4. So Cole Richardson leading, back to second, now back to third, kind of trending in a wrong direction, but still right there battling. And then it is John Glauda Jr., big moves from earlier in the lap. He was way back, and Howard's Hole really helped him out. Josh Merritt in 6th, John Glauda Jr. 5th, and at the 5-mile marker, we'll wait and we'll pick out the rest of the top 10 as they come through.
Yeah, Jay Shad with the physical lead, and he gets time adjustment. So his lead's even bigger than it looks.
Yeah, I mean, Jay Shadron, you got to try and run because you know there's a couple guys back there that are going to be coming for you. Looks like there is Stephen Harrell. Yep, the XC2.
Abney?
Austin Abney there. Brandon Owens and Walker Fowler has now physically caught those guys. He was a little ways behind, so looking like he's in a hurry to try and make up some ground. Wyatt Wilkin and Jared McClure have kind of latched along for the ride. Those were the 3 that we saw that spent the good amount of time there in Howard's Hole, hung when it looked like Wyatt Wilkin may have gotten his machine unsettled, and they were unable, even with all the Mud Flea's help, they were unable to get that machine dislodged, and once they finally did, they all kind of trucked out of there. This rider here is still completing his first lap. So if that, he says, nope, thanks, I'm done. It took me that long to make 5 miles. I'm out of here. Ronnie Rush on screen, working his way down there at the 5-mile marker. Folks, the racing action is fast and furious here for the Yamaha Racing Snowshoe GNCC. We will be back with more Racer TV Live right after this.
Knotty Tires, a division of Greenball Corp, has been in the tire business for over 44 years. We're passionate about developing quality tires that perform great and bring extraordinary value to our customers. Whether you're looking for a tire that can handle your off-road adventures, need a reliable tire to take you from job site to job site, or simply want a tire with a beefier look that won't break the bank, then check out Knotty Tires.
The United States Motorcycle Coaching Association has been setting a standard for motorcycle coaching since 2016. Coaching is important for all riders, no matter the age or skill level. The USMCA connects riders with coaches, whether the rider is just starting out on their motorcycling journey, to a competitive amateur racer looking to reach their next milestone, or the professional athlete trying to clinch a title. Download the Motorcycle Coaching app and get connected to a USMCA certified coach today.
How would you like to go to a school where we take into consideration how students learn best? Well, we do that because we find if we can build the curriculum around the things you are interested in, you're going to do a better job. The mission at On Track School is that educational success is possible while chasing your dreams. Not only will our staff help students to achieve success, they will cheer you on to the finish line. We encourage you to check out On Track School at ontrackschool.com, where we can help you chase your dreams and still get a quality education.
OnTrackSchool.com. Check it out.
In the premier form of off-road motorcycle racing in the world, it's the beginning of a new era. 17 Supercross, 11 Motocross, and those 3 playoff rounds.
Super Motocross World Championship Final. Tickets on sale now. Visit supermotocross.com.
30-second card is up. We've talked all about it. We've watched practice and qualifying. We've theorized. We've bench raced. Now it is time to go. Ropes are up. Jeeps down. Side by side we go. Jet Lord, Justin Cooper in front of the crowd. Linger from Chase Sexton. Can anyone else get up in the mix? They have been 1-2 in the last 7 motos of this championship. Here we go. Every race, every day, in every way. Print, social, digital, video, photo. Every race, every day. Every result, every story, every rider, everything. Moto every day with Racer X.
This Honda machine and what you got on it.
For sure. I mean, this has been we've been thinking about this a long time, and I've been working with Liz Harper at Pro Graphics about doing something unique. Last year we did something really cool. We did the full chrome kit, and it was all foil, and it looked awesome. And I wanted to top that this year. And man, we went back and forth and struggling with the drawing board, and I finally was like, you know what? It's been 30 years since the last Blackwater, which was '93. It's 23 now. So they did a tribute with it in dirt wheels. So I'm like, let's just do a Blackwater bike. She goes, okay, what do you want to do? I said, I want pictures all over the bike. So I contacted Dirt Wheels. They got me a few pictures. I contacted Racer X and Race Productions, and they was able to get me the files, which are now on the machine. And this is, to what I remembered, this was 90 or 86, 7, 8, and 90. So this is all Blackwater photos from then.
That's pretty incredible. Now, if you guys want to come, we're going to get a look at this. These are live shots from the Blackwater 100 here. And then, I mean, who knows what's going to come next year. Maybe we have highlights of you here racing at Snowshoe.
For sure. I mean, we're thinking about how we're going to top this, and I'm not even sure if we can at this point. And, you know, we're already thinking about next year and blah, 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 but I'm trying to really enjoy it now. And, I mean, there are some memories. I've had people coming up, and they're telling me, like, man, I remember going to Blackwater. I'm like, yeah, and they tell me that story. And there's not a whole lot of people left that have that history like this. You know, there's not a whole lot of people that still come to these. So I did it to bring in people to the event, to bring them down to tell me about your history and tell me your story, because it's something that I grew up with and I really, truly appreciate, and I was never fortunate enough to be able to do the race. And they claim that the mountain that McGill built, Snowshoe Mountain, is very, very, very close to Blackwater. I don't know, man. These men were men back then, baby. But this is definitely a very unique thing, and I'm very proud of it. And when we're done with the bike here, I'm very involved with the veterans, and I do the Vintage for Vets, and we raise money and we donate the money to a veteran or multiple veterans that are in need. And at the end of the race, I plan on getting it home, getting it cleaned up, and hopefully there's enough left of it that we're then going to auction these fenders off and raise some money for a veteran. So it's all for a good cause. It's a really unique build, and it's almost emotional when we was putting it on, when we was talking about this, and because every piece of graphic that I put on was a piece of history. And it's not very many people ever got to experience it, so I want people to come down and experience it with me and then with people that have done the race. So it's something that I definitely find very dear to me, obviously.
Adam McGill not only feeling good, but looking good out here at Snowshoe.
Hi, guys. We're down here. I know we wanted to see him. Oh, yeah. We got Adam McGill. He's got the people pumped up. They call this out, man. What are you doing down here?
Man, I went out to start. That thing was pulling like a crazy menu animal. We come down to the woods, and it must have sucked up a bunch of other competition right down that intake, and it just had enough. So you want to know what I said? I said, fist on it. We're going to go down to Howard's Hole, and I'm going to show these fans how we want to party on the mountain that McGill built, baby. So let's burn it down!
Hey, Adam McGill, he ain't worried about racing. He's having a good time here at Snowshoe, as are the fans. Nothing has calmed down. McGill's gotten quieter. He's having a good time. I've seen him have a couple beverages. He's feeling loose.
Oh, yeah.
Is this why it's your mountain right here?
Dude, this mountain right here, it's not about the wins, but it's a little bit about the wins. It's about all these people here that are super jazzed up to have a good-ass time. And you want to know who likes to have a good time? Who likes to have a good time?
Adam McGill likes to have a good time, baby.
McGill likes to have a good time. And you want to know what's better? We got 3,000 of my friends that are down here like to have a good time too, baby.
Woo! Good times out here at Howard's Hole.
Somewhere out there in the pro pits is Haley McGill going, oh, dear God, with the mess I have to clean up
This
later.
is going to be a long night
This
for
is going to be a long night. You know what, Adam McGill, hey, you're partying. We're about it. Johnny, keep an eye on the screen. We have a special guest with us in the studio, Andrea Lieb of On Track Schools. You talk with us at Minneo's. You talk with us at Loretta's. Honestly, On Track School kind of taking GNCC Nation by storm.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at the list of our students today. I'm sure you know a lot of these kids, right?
Oh, yeah, Ruby Fustini, Jigs Fustini, the Fustini family, yeah. Boy, you got some big names in here. Wyatt Marshall, Drew Marson, Ryan Piper, Thor Powell, our good buddy. Thor might have actually been one of your first GNCC students.
Yeah, and so this is only our second or third race.
Go ahead, Johnny. What do we got? Oh. Johnny, keep an eye on the
I'm sorry, guys. Don't mean to cut it.
No, you're
Leader
fine.
on screen, Bryson Neal, has taken over the lead. The #1, our defending champion, is out front leading the way on that Phoenix Yamaha here at the 10-mile marker. He made up the gap to Jay Shadron. There is Jay in second. There is Cole Richardson in third. So those are your top three up the FMF PowerPoint at the 10-mile marker. Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt, but we only get a few shots of our leaders on this very diverse and widespread snowshoe course. And your top three, there's been another shakeup.
See, Andrew, you thought Moto was chaos. GNCC, we got to take it when we can get it.
No, absolutely. I don't even know how you know who they are. They're covered in mud. It's crazy.
So your first time here at the Snowshoe GNCC, what has been your take from it?
I mean, I give it up to these riders and these families, just like in motocross when you travel. And I mean, they're just out there. You can't even really see where they are. But I give them all the credit for what they do and the passion that they have for this sport.
Looking like a quick splash and go, and some goggles for Bryson Neal, looking like it will be the same for Cole Richardson here in the GBC Tires pit stop area. IMS dump can, you can see the towels on the grip so he can hang on, a fresh set of Scott goggles, and he's off on the way. Jay Shadron would be pitting right around the corner there, so we're going to assume 2 laps complete. He likely did pit as well. We don't have a camera down there, but those are your top three as they're coming by here. It was still Hunter Hart. It appeared to be in the 4th place spot when they came by. You can see the WFR crew ready there. Mark Notman at the ready with the fuel can, waiting on their rider, Walker Fowler. Looks like here is the #3 of Hunter Hart, again, still in 4th. He's definitely needing some goggles. We've seen he's been riding this entire lap without goggles.
I mean, Johnny, I almost feel like we have the Howard's whole vision. It's a little blurry. There we go.
There is Bryson Neal headed down. He has now left the pro pit area and is headed back down. But in hot pursuit, the number 6 of Jay Shadron. Folks, do not sleep on this guy. He was very close to winning this race last year. Cole Richardson does not want to let those two get away. He's setting a pace, knowing he needs to keep those guys in sight. And Hunter Hart, with that pit stop, has given up a little bit of ground. He was already a little ways back, but he is going to put in work to try to catch back up to these guys. John Glaude Jr. on the gas and gone. Looking like Austin Abney now in the pits. Here comes Jared McClure into the pits. Looks like maybe Walker Fowler leaving the pits. So things shaking up in a busy GBC Tires pit stop area. A lot of these guys very closely grouped together here inside the top 10 overall. All coming in, getting fuel, getting goggles. A lot of them taking towels for the grips. Very slippery, a lot of water out on the course today. I think that should pretty well cover the action for now. Sorry, you guys.
No, you're fine, Johnny. You're fine.
Back to the on-track school. And the on-track action takes a pause. How about some on-track school?
No, do not apologize. We need to know what's going on in the race for sure.
Well, Andrea, tell us a little bit about, I think most folks out there are aware of On-Track School. It's a stellar program. I'm going to let you speak to it. You are the expert. You are the founder, I guess, essentially, of On-Track School. Yeah. How did it come about, and how does it benefit folks like us here at GNCC?
Well, as a family traveling and racing with our son, Michael Lieb, motocross racing, we knew there had to be a solution so that kids can still pursue a quality education and chase their dreams. And so here we are all these years later. We find that the kids, all kids that are really serious about their sport, and they apply that same work ethic to school, just like Hayden Deegan did when Tim gave him his diploma last weekend, they could have success on both sides. So we're excited to be here. We're excited to support the kids and meet new families. And anybody who wants to learn more about it can visit us online at ontrackschool.com.
Love that. You guys have a social media presence as well. Yes. I don't want to put you on the spot. Do you know those handles by chance where they can find you on social media?
Ontrackschool.com or just On-Track School. Sorry.
That'll work. Yeah, they can search it. They'll find it. They'll certainly find it. And, you know, you've got your fingers on the pulse of all of that. I've talked to you extensively. As a matter of fact, we did, I think, a Tuesday Toolbox a couple of years ago talking about it. Great program. Can't encourage you guys out there enough to check them out. And I'm guarantee if you do, you're at some point going to speak with Andrea Lieb herself. That's how involved you are in that program.
And I just want to give a shout out to Jackson. He's hired now to be one of your announcers, and he's out there at Howard's Hole.
He may have gotten lost out there, perhaps. He's supposed to be out there with him. I think he is.
The mountain has him now.
But he's part of the mountain. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, Andrea, thank you so much for joining us. I know we got the racing action coming back at us, but again, check them out, ontrackschool.com, correct?
Yes.
All right, Andrea, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. As Andrea Lieb from On Track Schools, as we will welcome Cody Collier back into the booth. Certainly check those guys out if you got the youngster out there. Hey, you just run locals or you run a national, whether it's off-road, moto, what have you. Certainly a terrific program.
So, Mikey, as we were watching here at this camera shot, a couple things we noticed. We have seen our top 4 check through. Now it looks like 5th place, John Glaude Jr. And again, we're talking physically. We're not going to read you the time corrections for right now because we know things are going to be shaken up. We've got some more riders still checking in. We'll wait until we get a few more checked in. But here's the thing I noticed. 2 laps. That meaning it is going to be, in fact, a 4-lap race. So we're halfway through this one, and we're getting closer and closer to finding out who will be the king of the mountain this year. As we refresh the screen, looks like Jay Shadron is your overall leader, Bryson Neal 2nd, Cole Richardson 3rd, Hunter Hart 4th, and Walker Fowler in the 5th place spot. So you're looking at Jay Shadron leading the way, Bryson Neal, well, again, those gaps, so you have to go with the elapsed time. 5 seconds is the difference between Shadron and Neal on corrected time. And then Cole Richardson back there about another 8 seconds. And then a big gap back to Hunter Hart of 40 seconds. And then Walker Fowler checking in with time of 1 hour 55 to 59:53. So about 1 minute and 2 seconds back on corrected time from the lead is Walker Fowler. Is that correct on the elapsed time? We're at 59:53, and Walker is 1 minute. Oh no, 1 minute 40.
55. He's 55.
1 minute 55.
So 1 minute 2 seconds.
Yep, 1 minute 2 seconds is the gap back to Walker in 5th, and then followed by Stephen Harrell and Josh Merritt in the number 7 spot, John Glaude Jr. in 8th, and that is all that has checked in so far now with 2 laps complete. Oh, we got some more checking in. Cody, you want to take it?
Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah, we got Austin Natty checking in for the 9th place spot. Jared McClure 10th. Then we got Wyatt Woken and Brandon Owens 11th and 12th. Brandon Owens is the only other XC2 rider checking other than Stephen Harrell.
So these are some riders that are about to become lapped riders, because coming this way quickly is going to be leaders.
That are here helping out. You make a little noise. We got
Bryson Neal on screen, taking a different line this time, going up that main line where things went sideways.
They just want to help. They're directing them either this way or straight in front. McGill is still walking around somewhere, making friends with everybody. So we wait for the next group of riders to come through. They got 2 pathways opened up. They're either sending them off to the right or sending them straight. They've got a system worked out that only fleet knows is their own language. I was whole. Here come. Swamp coming down through here. Lots of crazy but the fleas can never be counted out. They're getting the job done.
Yeah, it looks like Hart's a lot closer to Cole than he was at the finish. Looks like he was 40 seconds back, and now it looks like he's maybe 10.
Yeah, so something definitely transpired there. There was a big gap there, and it has tightened up quite a bit. So he's putting a charge down that downhill, and the next rider we should see coming through is John Glaude Jr., and there he is choosing that right line. Just behind him, the 723 of Walker Fowler. We may actually see a pass in Howard's Hole here. Let's see if we can see the exit of this. Does he get it? Oh, he gets hung for just a minute, and John Glaude Jr. able to get out in front of him. So that is still those two battling there. And then it is the number 11 of Josh Merritt. JM having a good run in the mud at the John Penton just a few short weeks ago. Yeah, that's the thing Josh does in muddy races. He changes his helmet. He feels like having a dry, fresh helmet just makes him ride that much better, and it's not heavy with all the mud on it. So he's got a system worked out where he can latch it really quick, and he's gotten really good at it over time.
It's interesting. He's the only one I've ever seen do it. Yeah, it evidently worked out for him at the Penton.
Yeah. He's how was Brandon Owens making a pass, jumping off the rock there, working his way around. Hard to see exactly who that was, but man, he came launching off that rock. That thing bit me last year, threw me down. I had to hit the brakes at the last second. A fan stepped in front of me. By the time I got on the gas, I didn't have enough run. Came off sideways, hit the ground, bike ran me over. But man, I didn't even know what was happening. The fans had me picked back up on my bike, screaming, and I was on my way. Wasn't until probably, I don't know, a good mile down the trail that I realized I was bleeding from my arm. My jersey was all ripped up. I'm like, oh, that really didn't feel that great.
Didn't feel great. Hey, the adrenaline wears off, and that's when Cody, you can attest to that. You got a bum wrist.
Yeah, I think I fractured it at least.
Oh, and, Cody.
Yeah, I finished the race third today, and yeah, it's just now starting to hurt. Got a little bit of ice on there, and yeah, that adrenaline really does do wonders.
You know what helped that wrist? Little Howard's Hole mud.
You know what else is, and all joking aside, the good thing, obviously, Cody, you're sitting in the points lead in that 4x4 Pro class. You've now got upwards of 2 months. You have essentially 11 weeks until you have to go back. I'm sure you will be racing in between then, but plenty of time to let that heal and get yourself healthy and ready to defend that championship that you're in last year. Ronnie Rush on screen. Again, the little fella, man, just as I say that, getting a little bit hung on that rock there, but the fans picking him up and getting him on the way. Look at that, Ian Howes on foot, getting the footage for the Instagram, running through there. Our cameramen and our videographers, both the independent and Racer TV ones, are as committed to this process as anybody. But the time you have to heal, obviously a big advantage, and it gives you the opportunity to kind of take a little time off, let it heal. And there's also some medicine available in town. It starts right after the race. You go in there, everybody has it. You can just kind of, it's oral. You just drink it. It's like a tonic, I think they call it, and I heard it heals bones. So it's available in
a little barley pop, if you will. Yeah.
I've got Pepsi's and a hot tub back at our rented house. I am set for the evening.
Perfect.
Good. All money.
Man, look at the pandemonium. So much mud, but so much joy. You don't see an unhappy fan in the crowd.
Oh, yeah. That's a crazy thing. You know, it's almost like you become family down there. I got baptized in it last season. I had this nice GBC hat Johnny gave me, and they said, Mikey, you're too clean. They dipped it right into Howard's Hole, and that's when I was like, okay, GNCC has accepted me into the fold.
Wait, they dipped it into Howard's Hole and then
set it right back on my head. Yeah, that was the official baptism.
That's pretty good. Whenever I show up to work with two tools, like the journeyman, all the older guys, definitely throw them in a pile of dirt, whatever they got to do.
Oh, you can see we got a little mud bath going on over there. He had a spot on him that wasn't covered, so the nice lady behind him was nice enough to cover it up. Don't want to, you know, it works as a suntan ointment, you know, sunscreen,
Oh my goodness.
Mud baths. I mean, people pay, you go to spas, people pay big money for these kind of mud bath treatments. Here at Howard's Hole, oh, we might have one going in. Oh, she saved it.
Wow.
Absolute pandemonium.
Is that a rock or a battery box? I'm worried.
It could be parts of an ATV. You never know.
Adam McGill, we found your battery box.
To this point, though, look at the gaps. Now we've had about our top 6 or 7 come through. No more riders. So normally we see this, maybe not quite to this extent, but it'll be even within the top 3 or top 5.
Yeah.
Right now, realistically, when we look at our gaps, we've got probably 6 or 7 riders still with a very realistic shot at winning this race.
Yeah, and only 18 people have checked in for lap 2.
So only 18 riders, and that leads to another discussion. You know, well over 200, I don't know how many in total, 200 plus racers started this race. That means that there's 170-ish something that are still out there working their way around the course and blocking lines if they broke down or gotten stuck, and it makes it that much more challenging. Cody, I was speaking with some other morning racers, some 4x4 guys that didn't finish on the podium but had good days, and they said it was crazy. The third lap, there was people everywhere. It was hard to, you know, find lines, and then we came around on lap 4 and it was like everyone disappeared. The track suddenly cleared again. So it's kind of a weird dynamic how that pans out sometimes.
I think they got rolling and they were done.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens on a tough course like this. A lot of times you'll get stuck. You know, when you finish that lap or even get to the neck, we saw that guy on screen there. He at the 5-mile marker, he looked down that hill, took one look at it, and said, "Hey, I see a road to my left. I'm going home. I'm done. Thank you, Snowshoe Mountain, for the experience."
He got to do the start on the road. He went through Howard's Hole, and that's all he wanted.
Bryson Neal on screen, the #1 Phoenix Yamaha machine, looked like he was in full push mode there, folks. Charging, you could see the bars jostling out of his hands. He knows time correction is at play here. He knows Jay Shadron has that time correction on his side, which right now is giving him that 5-second lead in the overall. Don't have to wonder who this guy is, folks.
Hey, Jay Shad got the headlights. I swear he did that for me and Rodney. I'm just saying. I think he's like, all right, you're going to miss me. I'm going to throw headlights on so you don't miss me anymore.
I would love to tell you that's the case. He ran those back when he ran XC1 back in the day. So there it looked like we did see our 3rd place rider. Was that Cole Richardson that came by just behind Jay?
I didn't notice.
Okay, I did see a bike come by. I was having to break Mikey's heart, so we'll keep an eye. So here's Hunter Hart. We saw he had caught Cole Richardson, so as he made the pass, or was that Cole that went through just behind that other lapped rider? We'll wait and we'll watch and we will see. There's a Kawasaki 450. Don't see many of those things around anymore. Snowshoe really brings out the relics. We saw some 250Rs out there. A lot of throwback machines, just like with Adam McGill, you know, doing his retro graphics for the Blackwater 100. I myself got to go to Blackwater 100. What an experience.
Yeah.
And I liken Howard's Hole, if you spread it out over like 8 miles, that was the Blackwater 100.
Goodness.
That would have been fun.
It was a lot. I was 14 maybe, and it was all I could manage to. Here is John Glauda Jr. So we will assume Cole Richardson was that rider we saw come through. So there is Glauda. And just behind him looks to be the not Canadian Walker Fowler, the American version. There has now caught up to the 712 machine of John Glauda Jr. Then it is the 11 of Josh Merritt. Those big tires doing work. You can see those things just bouncing. We got a rider having some trouble up there, looking like he's
hit the tree.
Don't think that's one of our top riders. I think that He's taking his goggles off and putting them back on, and he is blocking some more riders behind him. Yeah, his goggles have come apart. He's got all kinds of problems, and that was Jared McClure that he was blocking there.
Was that Harrell that was doing the blocking there?
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Oh, wow. That's not good. It looked like the way the goggles blew apart, I just assumed it was a lapped rider.
I know Harrell runs 9.2. I know Harrell's right in the mix.
There you go. It may have been, because that's Brandon Owens.
Oh, I bet you're right.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, so a lot of time lost there for him, and the goggles completely came apart. Saw the canister was blown off. The film was going everywhere.
I've had Cole Richardson adjust his precision stabilizer in front of me going down the trail at a race before.
Oh. There's some stories about that go back in the day involving a gentleman by the name of Matt Smiley finding the tightest section on the course and fueling in it between two trees so no one could pass him, which led, at least in part, to the rule of having you must fuel in your designated pit area. You cannot, as a pro rider, the amateurs can fuel out on the course, but you cannot impede a rider's progress while you fuel. But hey, sometimes that's the nature of the beast. If there is no rule, you take advantage of every.
That's right.
And it did not look by any means that Steven did that on purpose. It looked like he hit that tree, couldn't see, and then when he tried to adjust his goggles, they just kind of broke apart in his hands, and now he's left with 6 miles until he can likely get some fresh goggles and hopefully correct his vision there.
And he obviously had a little bit of a gap that he knew he had to play with and just maybe misjudged it a little bit, but yeah, off, back, and rolling. And that's part of it when you get when you pull your goggles apart and you get that mud on your face and then go put another set on, you got to make sure you wipe off your face well enough that you don't have that mud bouncing around on the inside of your lens.
Yeah, the mud on the inside of the goggles can play havoc for sure. It's a distraction, and it can obviously get in your eyes, and then you end up getting scratched corneas, and you got all kinds of problems. Bryson Neal did just pop by there on screen. He is still leading the way. The number 1 machine out front, and it looking like he is widening the gap over the number 6 of Jay Shadron. And I think at this point, if I was a betting man, as they run right now, I think he has widened the gap enough that he has taken over that overall lead. Look at this, Cole Richardson now on the rear bumper of the number 6 machine, Jay Shadron.
And where's that number 3?
Hunter Hart was not too far behind last time, so things are starting to tighten back up. Just when you think this one's sorting itself out, these guys are right back in the mix, and there he is, Cody.
Yeah, I think Bryson kind of figured out the pace and his lines the first couple laps, and now he's just sprinting now. He's knows what his marks, knows what he's got to do, and he's just executing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Johnny. Bryson Neal, 21 wins under his belt in his racing career. I don't believe one of those has come from Snowshoe.
No,
this would be his first Snowshoe win.
Yeah, the majority of the wins here at Snowshoe have been taken by a handful of guys. You've got Walker Fowler, Adam McGill.
To your point, back to 08 is what I heard. We have represented the winners of Snowshoe back to 2008. All those riders are racing today because of the presence of Brian Wolf and Walker Fowler.
Brian Wolf, again, he was a 2-time winner, and he is out there. Haven't seen an update on him, haven't seen him come through at all. Here we see John Glaude Jr. On screen, and still just behind him, the 723 of Walker Fowler and the 11 of Josh Merritt. So that was, when we last checked, that would have been 5, 6, and I believe 7, or 6, 7, and 8. They were 6, 5, 7, and 8, but Stephen Harrell, we know, has dropped back, as we saw on screen. So let's watch this shot, Cody, and see if we can see if that is in fact Stephen Harrell when he comes through with the broken goggles. He should be coming here in just a minute.
That's Jared McClure.
So he was holding up. Yep, he was holding Jared up when he was doing the goggle swap there. So we'll see if we can tell. Was it the number 12? Yep, there he is. So that was in fact him without goggles now, and he has lost that spot, and he has pressure from behind from the 703 of Austin Abney.
Yeah, and Brian Wolf never checked in for a lap.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. Hey, he's here, though. It was cool to see him lined up next to Walker Fowler. We're going to take a short break, get in a word from our sponsors, and more from Snowshoe GNCC after this.
Yamaha YZ450F. Narrower, more compact, and lighter. Built to do one thing: go faster. Flexible financing options offered directly through Yamaha are available. See your local Yamaha dealer today.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
Amsoil runs on freedom and has since 1972. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
Last season was my best season ever by far. I won a lot of races. I won a championship, and it was also my first year using ARMA. And one of the things I noticed was just my ability to string good days together. You know, like especially in the summertime in Florida, where you're riding every day and the heat index is 108 degrees and you're doing 230s and going to the gym and bicycle and all that stuff. I think in the past I've been super inconsistent day to day. Yeah, I may have a good race here or a good day during the week there, but overall I think where I improved the most was my consistency in my recovery.
All right, we're out here at GNCC University, and we have Walker Fowler. He's back in gear. He's back on a quad. Walker, what do we got going out here today?
It's Snowshoe University, sponsored by Yamaha Blue Crew. So basically we just have anywhere from huge CC utility quads down to the smallest little 50 CCs. Age ranges from 6 or 7 years old to full-grown men and women. So just a huge collection of people from all across the states. And man, it's just awesome to do instruction with them on such a beautiful mountain.
Now, we've been hanging out watching you guys give instructions to the riders. For people that want to take place in this next year, what do you guys train and what exactly do you go through for these riders out here at the GNCC University?
Yeah, so obviously we work on a lot of riding technique, but I mean, we start at the basics. We do honestly, how to do a donut. That way you can spin around trees or rocks and just get comfortable. Some of the riders don't even know how to use a clutch when they get here, and they show up on a full manual machine, and by the end of it, they're very proficient in being able to use a clutch. So, like I said, we break them down into 4 or 5 groups. We get as many instructors as we can, top pro riders, retired pro riders, mechanics, whoever we can get. And yeah, like I said, we start at the basics, and by the end, they're ripping laps on one of the hardest loops here at Snowshoe Mountain.
What do you think about the future for GNCC ATV racing?
It's bright, for sure. It's very bright. We had such a strong showing. They literally sold the event out in like 3 days, and the waiting list maxed out in about 3 hours, and there were probably another 200 people that wished they could have signed up that were turned away. So unfortunately, we can only have so many, but it's awesome to see that many people interested in the sport of ATV racing.
Great things kicking off the Snowshoe Racing Weekend.
Johnny, you can speak to that certainly because you're a part of it. I will say, from my perspective, used to do the podium. Here's some chainsaw practicing with you guys. But I can vouch for you guys because when I was doing podiums for youth, I'd always have a handful of riders that I didn't normally have on a GNCC podium. And I said, man, welcome to the podium. What made the difference for you? And they give you and guys like Walker Fowler the credit for this university.
Yeah, I can't take much credit for it other than helping out with the instruction. This is the brainchild of Jennifer Davies and some very smart people at Yamaha who had ultimately back in 2009 came up with the idea. And actually, I'm sorry, it started back in 2009. Jennifer Davies brought it back in 2019. And then Steve Nessel, all the guys at Yamaha said, hey, this is something we want to be a part of. We want to invest in the future of GNCC racing. We want to bring this event back. And we brought it back to Snowshoe Mountain where it started. Been an instructor since 2009, and like Walker said, it's so awesome to get to see the progress that some of these young riders make. We've had a star-studded list of riders over the years, including Cody Collier was a GNCC University graduate.
This is one of the best things I did for my career.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I attended, 5 years?
Yeah.
5 years in a row. It's one of the best things I did.
Yeah, Cody was a repeat offender. Hunter Hart, now an instructor. His first time being an instructor, was a GNCC University graduate. John Glutta Jr. I mean, so many more. We got to go to the STASIC recap, but I mean, the list goes on and on. It was very cool. It was a great time. And
if you guys need a 4x4 instructor, let me know.
We will do that. Ooh.
Spot me a Grizzly. We'll be rolling.
We could make it happen.
I want to see it. Last night in the Village, the STASIC race popping off. Oh, such a cool event. Everybody's here to watch me.
Mikey, you talk about the future of GNCC racing.
Right.
I mean, this is it at its ground level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you start on a Strider, you graduate to the STASIC. By the time you're on a PW or an old wily veteran with racecraft, and you're not doggy paddling like that. But that's why they're out there. They're learning.
Got to start somewhere.
Helmets bigger than the bikes themselves. I love it.
Bobbleheads.
Looking at everywhere but where he's going.
Yeah.
That's going to be me when I do finally race that dirt bike that Yamaha gave me.
Just looking around?
No, keeping the feet on the ground.
Oh, my goodness. She's going to get T-boned.
Paddling my way around.
You know, they don't get paid to do this. It's not a points race. Don't tell these kids that.
Well, I think this is the youngest, like the 3 and 4 year olds.
Yeah,
when it gets up, you'll see it gets more competitive, and the speeds go up.
We're throwing elbows, trading plastics. Just a cool event.
Hugs all around. You gotta love it.
929 said, "I don't want my medal. I wasn't done. I was not done."
Dad, do we get ice cream now? You promised.
Yeah. Just a cool event. Love having STASIC on board with us. Do such a great job.
And a great facility for it. You know, right
for
here
sure.
in the Village. And then things get a little more nightlife.
The Oscar Mayer Wiener showed up. That was really cool. And the crowd's out in droves. And hey, to their credit, Tim Cotter was singing their praises. He said, overall, everybody behaved very well. Yeah, there's always a few little misfits out there, but we'll focus on the folks who behaved. Hey, party, have fun. If you guys know me personally, you know I love to party and have fun, but time and a place for everything. You got to reel it in sometimes.
Can't let the 1%.
That's right. That's right. So
we are waiting on the leaders. We see a bike, or a quad, I should say, coming up the mountain at a high rate of speed. There was a dirt bike there, but I believe that was a track sweep rider, unless that guy accidentally got on the course on the wrong day. I think this is the #1 Phoenix Racing Yamaha of B. Neal, the Bidwell Bullet defending champion. Did not get a win at our last round, coming up 1.4 seconds short, saying, not today, boys. Trying to grab a towel. Interesting, because he's headed up to the pits, but he still wanted that towel, maybe just, you know, not wanting to stop this lap in the pits, being able to dry those grips off and hold on a little tighter. What is the gap back to the #6 Action Off-Road machine of Jay Shadron? That does not appear.
Looks like a coleslaw.
Could have been. That looks to be the 259, a Kenny Schick XC2 rider, looking like he must have had some struggles. About to go a lap down when the Bidwell Bullet makes it around. That's not Bryson yet, but he is coming, and coming in hot. Yep. And there he is.
There he is. You could tell by the lap rider's body language. We had a leader rolling through.
Very composed, knowing he wants that. No, there's goggles.
Well, like not taking goggles.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just with how slick conditions are. I'm just.
I question that myself on a race like this. I would, you know, but I think at this point he's in that mode. If he wants to break Jay Shad and Coleslaw, and he wants to get that, gap and know that he's got that overall lead. I likely think he's just in full push mode right now. Oh, this could play into factor because this is very. Oh, okay. Thank goodness. Very one-lined right there. If there's kind of a cliff to the left, if that rider would have been stuck there, the fans would have had to get involved, and the pit crews would have been over there pushing that rider up. I don't need to count anymore. Bryson Neal is your overall leader. He has enough of a gap on this guy. But look at this. Cole Richardson has made it around Jay Shadron, and now up to physically second place. And here comes Bryson Neal back down the mountain. FMF PowerPoint just past the 10-mile marker. We will get the official live timing and scoring when it comes in here in just about another mile and a half. But as they run, and as my eyes tell me, unless they deceive me, looks like Bryson Neal has done enough to wrestle the overall lead away, even on corrected time from Jay Shadron. As we now know, Shadron has been passed by Action Off-Road teammate Cole Richardson on that number 4 machine. Richardson in pursuit, wanting to back up that win from Mason Dixon just a few weeks ago. His first win of 2023. Cole Richardson, another rider that has had a lot of success here on Snowshoe Mountain, but has never actually grabbed the top spot and gotten the overall win. So here he is today. There he goes down the mountain there in pursuit, trying to close up the gap on Bryson Neal out front, leading the way on that Phoenix Racing Yamaha.
This would be Bryson Neal's first win since round number 6. He's coming off a second in round 8, a third in round 7, and you know, we talk about, obviously he's got a pretty good points lead, 197 of the closest 166 in our heart, but we talk about momentum after summer break. It's Snowshoe. You want this win. If nothing else, you want to perform well to give your confidence as we get into silly season after the summer break, and Bryson Neal doing exactly what he needs to do to put himself in good position to bring home what I'm sure he's hoping will become back-to-back national titles.
Looks like Austin Abney going the other way, still working his way up. So that is just our top 3 still. We have not seen Hunter Hard come down just yet there in that 4th spot physically as he was when we last saw him. That is a lapped rider there. B-class rider, you can tell by the color of the number plates. Looking like there may have been a bottleneck in play because this gap has now opened way up. The top 3 are out front and all alone. Here, a lot of revving going on over there. There is a very steep incline going into the pro pits. It has a tendency to play a factor here. Again,
steep and slick.
Listen to the revving. Okay, so here is Bryson Neal.
Is that the layover?
Oh, that may be Howard's Hole. So Bryson Neal there has checked in now with 3 laps complete and a white flag waving, almost bang on an hour and 30 minutes, meaning this is going to be very close to exactly a 2-hour race here today on Snowshoe Mountain.
Yeah, normally like you'll have like a short lap or a long lap for your first lap. Here it's pretty much start is where you start at the finish.
Yeah, within probably less than 100 yards, honestly.
Yeah, very close.
So it's the lap times will be consistent. The terrain is what really kind of changes as the race goes on, not necessarily the length of the course. Here is Cole Richardson checking in. Now those two did start on the same row, so there will be no time correction. The time correction will come into play when Jay Shadron checks in, which we didn't see. Was it just the top 2 that came through?
Yeah, just top 2 so far. No Jay Shad.
But even at the downhill, I don't actually think we saw Jay Shad.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
So it was
never did.
It was just the top 2 that we had seen come through. We saw some guys going up the other side. We saw Austin Abney. Looked like we may have seen Josh Merritt, I think, going up the other side, but I think we may have developed a bottleneck somewhere because the top 2 have now broken away and the other guys have lost some serious time. Looks like it will be a Neal Richardson 1-2 for sure here. Not for the race, but at least with 3 laps complete, these guys have now pulled more than far enough away that they will not be relinquishing those spots, even on time correction.
Yeah, and you talk about them guys pulling away from everyone else. Bryson's got a 40-second lead over Cole.
There you go. 40 seconds is the tail of the tape as they complete 3 laps. Head into the final lap. Again, white flag waving. Only one more circuit around this treacherous Snowshoe Mountain, and Bryson Neal can check this one off the list if he's able to maintain that gap and say, hey, I did it. I want to throw my name in the hat. So what would we call it then? Neal Mountain?
Neal Mountain.
He's got some ground to make up. He's got some ground to make up.
He's got to click off a few. He will surpass Chuck DeLulo. They're both tied 21 wins, career wins. This, if he can hang on, would be win number 22, putting him behind some fella named Bob Sloan.
Guy that won
really good company.
Look at this. Is that Hunter Hart? No, Josh Merritt up into the 3rd place spot physically. Merritt up into a podium. The helmet change coming in clutch. And it looks like he has been able to make some moves, get himself up into, there is John Glauda Jr. there now 4th physically as they come in, and he will still be behind Josh.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting. They don't have the timing and scoring for the riders to see when you come through the finish this weekend. So you have no clue where you're at, and especially on a track like this.
There is the 723 of Walker Fowler. Looks like the number 9 of Jared McClure. If we hit refresh there, Cody, we can get the gaps on these guys and see what things are after time correction, because they're all coming through in a big group now. So something was holding these guys all up, and it has now broken free, and they are all charging through. Give us a rundown, Cody.
Yeah. Bryson Neal's your leader out front with the 42nd gap over the number 4 of Cole Richardson, and then like you said, Josh Merritt up into the 3rd place spot. He is a minute and 30 seconds down almost. Then you got Walker Fowler physically like 8th or something, and then with time adjustment, he's 4th place with, overall with adjusted time, about 12 seconds back off of Josh Merritt. So that's very. Well, you might see Walker Fowler on the podium today, ladies and gentlemen.
And can we point out too, Josh Merritt? Correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't he at a number 3 spot, and it was, or maybe it was Wyatt Wilkin, that's what I'm thinking of, and it was Bryson Neal behind him. I was thinking it was Merritt, and I thought, man, he had Bryson Neal behind him, and now he's got Walker Fowler. This guy can't get a break, but still, if you don't want someone behind you.
Leader on screen, Bryson Neal through Howard's Hole, right up that main line. Oh, look at this, a rider stuck in front of him. They're getting that rider going, but he is losing valuable time. That 40 seconds is going to be dwindling away. We're down to 30 now. They're saying, get that guy out
he said, help him.
I don't need no help. I'll get through here just fine.
He's like, just get him out of my way. I'll be all right. You want to twist a teat? No, I want to get around this rider.
So we saw this earlier with Walker Fowler stuck in this exact same spot. If a rider gets stuck in front of you, there's nothing you can do. And Bryson now able to work his way through there, no troubles at all, but giving up probably, I would guess, every bit of 20 seconds or so. So that gap is significantly less. We'll see if we hang on this this shot. Do we see Cole Richardson coming through? That was not him coming across the top. So he did maintain the lead. That's not Cole there. Got some more riders coming down, getting ready to hop off the rock here. Their fans trying to coax them down, saying, just send it, buddy. It's a lapped rider there. Moving though, carrying his speed for the fans, doing it for the fans, doing it for the Mud Fleas there in Howard's Hole, making short work of that section too.
Yeah,
that was impressive.
We had some XC1 guys getting stuck there, and he went right through there. Saved his energy the other 10 miles.
That's right. Saved it all up for Howard's Hole. Got to put on a show for the fans. Things can go so sideways in this section of racetrack. One little miscue, you find yourself in a line you can't get out of, and next thing you know, you've lost big time. As we saw Bryson Neal, but looks like it didn't cost him too much. This may be Josh Merritt working his way down now. It is not. It is, actually. There is Josh Merritt right there, the second rider coming. You can see the fresh goggles track taking that upper line, and looking like possibly just behind him was another.
Glauda was very, very close to Merritt at the finish. I don't know if we missed Richardson taking that top line or what.
I think we probably did when the camera panned. The crowd is so thick, you just can't see up in there, and they're taller than the riders when they're on their ATVs.
The trees are all brown, riders are all brown, the fleas are all brown. It's just, you can't tell what's what. And there's Jay Shad finally.
Walker Fowler getting bit again. He's trying to go through there. The fans trying to push him backwards, and he's saying, no, I want to go this way. So that was a little bit of time cost, and it looked like he lost the spot to Jay Shadron there. So there we did see Jay Shadron finally working his way through. We thought we lost him, but he did eventually make it through there at the 1 mile marker here at the Howard's Hole Monster Mile.
Yeah, we've had our top 7-8 riders through. This is a mile into the race. We've only had 11 riders check in for the 3rd lap.
Here is Stephen Harrell, possibly your XC2 leader again. Could have seen Brandon Owens come through Howard's Hole, but Cody saying it looks like he did not check in yet with 3 laps complete. So Harrell back to the point position in that ever-competitive XC2 class. Those guys always, him, Lane McCormick, James Glauda, the list really goes on and on. Those guys just absolute slugfest week in and week out. Bunch of young guys trying to make a name for themselves. But so far in 2023, it really has been the Stephen Harrell show. Points leader and has won, I believe, all but 1 round. so far in 2023?
7 of 8 as of right now, looking to make it 8 of 9, looking to wrap up points a little early and maybe put his foot in that XC1 class by the end of the year.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of riders do that in the past where they, get to the point where they have that championship locked up. They go ahead and jump up into that XC1 class, kind of test the waters and see what they're going to get themselves into the next year.
Yeah, I did it back-to-back years. I did it because I had nothing to gain in the XC2 class. Just wanted to go up and rub some shoulders with you guys. Got my butt kicked, and I raced XC2 again that next year. Knew I was moving up to XC1. Had nothing to lose again, and yeah, it's definitely an option for these guys.
Looking like we got some more riders checking through. Could be, I thought it was Wyatt Wilkin, but I don't think it actually was. Hard to tell when everybody's brown. Everybody looks about the same. Even the mud fleas start to look like racers, and the racers start to look like mud fleas.
And we do got the Brandon Owens did check in for the XC2 class.
So there we go. He has made it through now. Another rider coming down. You can see that corner. They're very hard to make. If you don't drop off the rock, if you try to come around, it's very slick. You push into the crowd. There's also some very big boulders there. Yep, there you can see that's the way to do it. As long as you make it.
Bowen's there on screen.
Yep, drop right off. Oh man.
Oh, here we go.
Bad way. Not where you want to be.
He said, thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
Oh,
position
no,
well for a moment.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, the chain is off, maybe. Yeah, don't pull him forward. You'll block the line. You got to pull him back and get him out of the way.
And he said, that'll do it for my race day.
Yeah, hopefully they get that machine out of the race course. There is only 2 usable lines there, and if they don't get that machine moved, that takes it down to 1. Maybe not the best decision-making process going on with the mud fleas. A lot of enthusiasm, not a whole lot of knowledge or technical ability, but what they lack in any sort of ability, they make up for in enthusiasm. And they got them a towel.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that would just sit on the racetrack, and I would try to nicely, be like, hey, get off the track when I go by all the time. Just some people just don't get it.
Oh, now they're getting in there. They realize what the issue is. They're going to try to get the chain dislodged. Oh, they cleared a spot. They're going to pull it up. See, sometimes just pure brute force can fix all problems.
That's right.
Enough manpower.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. You made it that far.
Yeah.
But if you got to break down, that's the spot.
That's true. You won't be thirsty, that's for sure.
Plenty of Monster Energy down there.
That's right. It is the Monster Mile.
My buddy broke down at the end of it probably 4 or 5 years ago, and there was a nice family just cooking hot dogs at the end of Howard.
Perfect.
Right past all the mayhem. He had himself hot dogs and Pepsis, and he was set.
They were selling brats. Everybody's going to be down there with their Coleman grills next year.
Yeah, I see him sitting off to the side of the track and just tidal waving with one of those holes, leaving the section we've been talking about.
Oh, there's Brandon Owens right there, actually.
Okay.
Looking like Ronnie Rush.
That orange Alpine Star helmet.
Yep, looks like Ronnie. Oh.
Yeah, that's definitely Ronnie there.
Probably wondering, in this case, sometimes you see a fan blocking a line and you get irritated. In this case, they're doing them a favor.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Say, hey, don't go that way. You can't see it, but there's an ATV with a dislodged chain right in the middle of the trail. And unless you plan on climbing over that, you need to go this way. But soon they should have that line cleared, and they'll open it back up and let those guys start using that line as an option once again. Leader on screen, Bryce Neal, the #1 Phoenix Racing Yamaha out front. What is the gap? How much time was Cole Richardson able to make up as a result of that? What we saw Bryce Neal having to wait in Howard's Hole while a lapped rider was lodged on a rock, and despite dozens of fans trying to help, they just couldn't seem to get him off that rock.
Was that not Cole right there? It looked like a lot like the 60 helmet, that Texera Tech front bumper. It looked like Cole. They're right behind Bryson there.
Could have been. I didn't notice it being him. We'll have to wait and see if he doesn't come by. You could be right. I was kind of looking at you and Mike. He wasn't really paying attention to the screen because I didn't expect him to be that close. I know he was there a while. It was 40 seconds. He seemed like he was there 20 or so, but he could have easily made up that 20 seconds. You could be right, Cody. We could have a race on our hands for that #1 spot.
What I seen, it looked a lot like Cole. Didn't know it was him.
And adjusted time won't play into it for Cole because he's row 1 with Bryson Neal, so it's mano a mano.
Yep, the top 5 are on the front row, and a couple of those guys, Josh Merritt sitting in 3rd place, would have the advantage of time correction.
Yeah.
He was about, he was 3rd, but I believe it was a minute and a half or over a minute and a half back, so not quite that much time correction. He would have only about 10 seconds starting on row number 2.
Boy, I think you might have been right there, Cody Collier. I'm thinking that was Cole.
Yeah, because there's Josh Merritt. So Cole Richardson apparently has caught Bryson Neal, and now Josh Merritt, the number 11 machine, running solidly in that 3rd place spot.
I can't tell. I can't tell from this angle. I got to get a head on a little.
Listen, if Cody Collier can't pick it up, if Johnny can't, no way.
It's tough.
Oh, Jay Shadron headlights. That we know for sure.
Yep,
thank you, Jay.
Check, easy one.
Jay, good looking out.
Jay Shadron has come through, so we know at least the top 4 or 5 now have come through. There was a couple machines that come by. It looked like Jay Shadron made the pass on Walker Fowler as a result of that line being clogged up. So we'll see. That looks to be Walker Fowler coming down, and it is. So that is what happened when Walker Fowler got hung there. They pushed him back into the other line. Jay Shadron was able to go around. So he made that pass, made it stick, and is now holding on to that spot. Looks like this. Oh. Man, that section's getting tough up in there. That's normally one of the easier sections of the racetrack.
With all the rain this dirt got so soft, and there's no bottom in that section. It's just getting dug out.
Going to be even tougher tomorrow for the bike race.
That's their problem.
Looks like we got somebody coming on the hammer. Looks like it's the 712 of John Glauda Jr. Now they're...
Yeah, he's lost some time. If Jay Shot already went through.
And then it's the 703 of Austin Abney, yeah. So Abney is now caught up to the back of Glauda. That rounds out just near the top 10, I believe. When we looked last, that was... Oh, did we see Hunter Hart come through?
I don't know if I missed. There was a group
that
of
was that group where we couldn't tell who they were.
I thought I seen McClure in there.
Yeah.
Probably McClure. I thought Glauda and McClure and Hart were in there, but it looks like Glauda's dropped off the pack.
There you go.
Got a little bit of white smoke coming off this machine here.
Yeah, we'll assume Hunter Hart was in that pack, and the one did look like it could be McClure, but it was hard to tell. We will get them again at the 10-mile marker. A lot clearer shot when they're coming head-on at us up the Powerline Hill climb. You get a long time to look at them and figure out who's who and what's what. Uh-oh. Imposter Jay Shadron coming.
Yeah. No blue headlights. They just got those are just OEM. Jay Shad goes fancy with the blue.
That's right. You got to go with the, what do they call it, the LEDs. Oh, he's got a tail light.
Tail light. Let's go.
Mikey, are you here for it?
You know what? I'm here for it. I love it.
There we go. Leader, Bryson Neal. Oh, we don't have to wait till the 10. We got him at the 5. Bryson Neal leading the way. Cole Richardson in hot pursuit just behind him. Again, folks, no corrected time here. This is a mano-a-mano battle for the winner of the Snowshoe GNCC today. They are right there glued together. Nothing but a few inches separating them here. 5 miles in.
That was Merritt there.
No.
Pretty sure that was Merritt.
He was a pretty good back, but there is a couple little technical sections through there. Could have been a lapped rider. If that's the case, that would mean Josh Merritt could, well, we'll wait and watch, but Josh Merritt could potentially be the leader on corrected time because that was less than 10 seconds. The number 11 machine is what we're looking for. Cody thinks it may have possibly be him. Looks like we're going to have our producer go back and relook at that piece of tape, but
just from the back, I thought I seen the red with the 11 in there. He looked like he had pace coming down the hill. Not sure.
We'll see. We'll wait and we'll watch.
See, they're going to rub my nose in it, see if I'm right or wrong here.
We're told we got a replay coming.
Drum roll, please.
We'll see. Hopefully during the replay we don't miss anybody else coming through. So there is Cole Richardson.
B. Neal.
Or B. Neal, okay. Cole Richardson.
I'm pretty sure. Not positive. I'm like, okay, he's cooking around that corner. And then just the...
Nope.
that rear.
No, not
like an 11.
Yep, he has
red.
that rider has either a chest protector on under his jersey, Josh, something there. Not, I'm 99% sure that was not Josh Merritt. If we go back to our live shot, we'll see if he does actually. Or is this still the live shot? Oh, we're looking. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're back to live. We're waiting. We're watching. Third place when they last checked in. Josh Merritt at the 4-mile marker. We're now at the 5. And there is. Oh, that's Kenny Schick.
Yeah, I think so.
And yeah.
I can't tell.
It's tough out here. It's tough out here, folks.
It looked red.
That was an XC2 rider ahead there. There we go. From this angle, we should be able to tell who's coming on down here. It's gotten a little darker out there, folks. Look like it's threatening to rain yet again. Could really put a little extra spin on the last couple miles. There is John Glauda Jr., so we know he dropped back. So when we went back to that replay, looks like we missed a few guys coming through. There is the 703 of Austin Abney. More riders working their way through. So we do know we have a 2-rider battle at the front of this one with Bryson Neal, the Phoenix Racing Yamaha, leading the way. The Action Off-Road Yamaha of Cole Richardson in second. Absolutely, these two guys have both had some battles here early in 2023. We've seen it. Cole was a rider early on in the season that really took it to Bryson a couple times.
Yeah.
We saw him push the pace, was able to kind of seem like he had Bryson against the ropes, and then Bryson was able to pull it out in the races. Late in the races, you know, what, 3 weeks ago at the 3 how long ago was Mason-Dixon? I lose track of time.
3 weeks.
3 weeks ago at the Mason-Dixon, Cole Richardson led essentially the entire race. Bryson Neal catching him in the final corners, not able to make the pass. Cole Richardson getting his first win of 2023. Now the roles are reversed. Bryson Neal out front. Cole Richardson has run him down. Will he be able to make the pass? Will Bryson Neal seal the deal? We'll find out all that and a whole lot more when we come back to Racer TV Live here from the Snowshoe GNCC in just a few moments.
All-new Yamaha YZ450F. Narrower, more compact, and lighter. Built to do one thing: go faster. Flexible financing options offered directly through Yamaha are available. See your local Yamaha dealer today.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
Amsoil runs on freedom and has since 1972. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
Last season was my best season ever by far. I won a lot of races. I won a championship, and it was also my first year using ARMA. And one of the things I noticed was just my ability to string good days together. You know, like especially in the summertime in Florida, where you're riding every day and the heat index is 108 degrees, and you're doing 230s, and going to the gym and bicycle and all that stuff. I think in the past I've been super inconsistent day to day. Yeah, I may have a good race here or a good day during the week there, but overall, I think where I improved the most was my consistency in my recovery.
We're here at the 2023 ISDE Championship Golf Tournament. Stu Baylor lining up for a putt behind me. What a shot. It looks like some potential. Look at that confidence already from Baylor. Stu Baylor, what a shot here. We saw it. Looks like you put it on the green. How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling solid. I'm feeling solid. These guys don't stand a chance.
What's it going to take for you to bring home the championship here?
A lot more than that. A lot more than that. Like a good second shot. A good second. Where our drives are killing it. Our third shots are good.
Whatever it takes here to get the golf championship win. Stu Baylor, look out.
Absolutely. It's a sold-out golf tournament here for ISD. We're here for a good reason.
We're back at the 2023 ISDE Golf Championship. Jesse Ansley lining up for the shot. There was deliberation about the club.
You guys have just seen this fantastic shot here. Jesse Ansley, man, how are we feeling right now?
Well, hopefully I feel a lot better Sunday. We're just out here having a good time, which we'll have a good time Sunday, but I'm not playing too well. Luckily, my teammates are holding it down for us. We're running probably like a good 69 scoreboard, so yeah, I don't know, just out here supporting the cause, and yeah, we're just having some fun.
Now, there has been some concern that you may leave the GNCC series to go join Liv and the other golf competitors. Are you safe racing? You're going to stay on two wheels?
I don't know. We're going to decide after the 18th hole today. It's going to be a tough decision, but yeah, we'll keep everyone curious and stay tuned.
Strong performance on the track and on the course. Jesse Ansley. Back out here at the ISD Golf Championship. Zacho, not going to be on the bike this weekend, but you are swinging the club. How you having fun out here?
Yeah, I'm having a blast. Finally starting to feel myself again with my leg and just coming around. So it's nice to be here to support ISDE, something that's near and dear to my heart in off-road racing. So it's cool to be out here and playing some golf with the boys.
Now, we know you're no slouch on two wheels, but I hear you're no slouch with a golf club either. You putting it to these boys?
I don't know about no slouch. We've used a couple of my shots today, so that's all that matters. we're 4 under. This is our 9th hole, so I'm sure we're going to get absolutely smoked, but we've been honest, so we can sleep tonight.
There you go. Good to see you out here, and great to see you back out of the track soon, man.
10 seconds! And just like out of a job.
Yeah, a lot of fun was had at that, certain of that, and a lot of controversy in the clubhouse afterwards. Always, when the scores come in, I can tell you, if you've never played a scramble, especially a charity scramble, people get very creative with the scores, not making any accusations whatsoever.
Right.
But I can tell you, we played years ago before GNCC University came back. We had some good players on our team. We had some great shots. We had the advantage of having a female on our team, so she got to.
Oh yeah.
She was a great driver, so she was driving off the women's tees. We were by far, probably in most cases, 50, 60, 70 yards ahead of even the best of the boomers on the men's team, depending on the hole. And we come in, we put our score in, and I don't remember what our score was, but we got beat by like 16 strokes. And I was like, well, okay, clearly these people just like Zach said, we were honest. We can sleep with ourselves.
That's right.
Or we can sleep knowing that we were honest. So I heard the winning score was 18 under par.
A shoulder shrug. I don't know.
I don't either. I don't know. I do know it was I do know they had some good golfers on that team, and anything's possible. But the comment was made: the best club you can have. This is not in regards to yesterday.
Sure.
When you play a scramble, the best tool you can have in your arsenal, the best club in your bag is a sharp pencil.
Sharp pencil and an eraser.
Yes. It looks like we may have our leaders coming up the hill. We see people getting excited. We're getting excited. We see fist pumping, and we see
there he is.
A pause of the screen, but we see the number 1 of Bryson Neal out front, again leading the way, but hot pursuit, the number 4 of Cole Richardson. Looks like no goggles for Bryson Neal. Don't expect to see him stopping to take any, though, because he knows he's got a very hungry Coltrane behind him, wanting to wrestle that top spot away.
You know what, to Coltrane, to Cole Richardson's credit, he had round 6, the 14th place finish, no points in round 7. He was angry. I mean, he was very angry with himself, the situation, everything. Comes out in round 8. Prior to that race, he even said, hey, I'm the guy today. I feel like I'm the strongest rider out here. I have the best chance to win. And I thought, ooh, big words. And then he backed it up. He talked the talk, walked the walk, and he's showing more here today, Johnny.
Well, I think this shows more of Cole's determination for me, honestly, because Cole Richardson carries a big stick at Mason-Dixon.
Yeah.
He's won that race more than anybody since that race has been on the calendar. And, but here at Snowshoe, he's had some success. He's run up front, but he's not been dominant. He hasn't won races here. So the fact that he's pushing our defending champion and the guy who's out here, trying to prove a point today, the number 1 of Bryson Neal, really shows that Cole is coming into his own here in this 2023 season. You can see it in his face, actually, referring to the fact he's obviously been doing a little something different with the training and the nutrition. He looks a little thinner, a little fitter, seeming to have a little more steam late in these races. Speed has never been a problem for Cole Richardson, but now he's seeming like he's really getting all the pieces put together.
Yeah, he seems more confident this year than he ever has been when I talk to him. I've been talking to him. I walk the track and he bikes the track. It seems every single race that we get together and we get to talk for 5-10 minutes. But he just seems really happy with where he's at. He's moved through some growing pains, just confident, comfortable where he's at.
Man, that is a battle right there. Again, no time in it between those two. It really comes to be whose transponder and or plane of their machine crosses the finish line first. There will be no time correction. There we see Hunter Hart. That answers the question as to whether he made it through. We missed him on that last camera shot. There is HH. There is Walker Fowler, the 723 machine. So he has now gotten up to the back of Hunter Hart. We don't know how many guys may have already gone up this hill and up in, so we can't assume that's 3rd and 4th.
Right.
We think Josh Merritt may likely already be up there, or could potentially be up there. Is a lapped rider there. But we'll watch this shot and we'll hopefully get to see if Josh Merritt comes down this side. We can pull that camera back just a little bit there. If we get any riders coming down, we will find out what is the tail of the tape, who is going to be your 3rd place rider. And folks, we are just a few mere moments away. There is Josh Merritt.
Is that Jared McClure?
Was it?
That was the Texera Tech from Bumper.
That is McClure there, so physically in the 3rd spot, but Josh Merritt would, they might have started on the same line, actually.
Merritt
was row 2.
Yeah, it was row 2, and then you asked about Jared McClure, also row 2.
Yep, so right as they run, it would be McClure in 3rd, Merritt in 4th. We did see another rider, could have been John Glauda Jr., just go by there. There is Jay Shadron, who started on row number 2 as well, so he'd get a little time correction on the leaders, but not enough, and wouldn't even be enough to get him into that battle for the podium as they run right now. Then we should see some guys coming down. Hunter Hart would be one, and then Walker Fowler would be kind of the big last remaining question mark as far as time correction, as he would have 50 seconds time correction. He would need to be within 50 seconds of Jared McClure to take away that 3rd place final podium spot. And there he is. You know this one has got to be really feeling it for him after all those months off the bike. Very little riding, only back on for about, oh, look at this.
Here we go.
That was it. That was the battle for the win. And wow! Almost saw a pass for the lead in the final turn there, but Bryson Neal able to hold on, grabbing another win here in 2023. Inches was the difference. Cole Richardson solidly in 2nd place, and we will wait for the rest of our podium battle. But look at that, brown all the way around, but you can see the white teeth shining through from Bryson Neal, a very happy man here.
Ooh, see the breath. Yeah, what an incredible finish. Cole Richardson, hey, we were singing his praises. He had the 2 mulligan races, we'll call them. He had the golf earlier. Why not use the golf reference? The win, and now a 2nd place today on the rear grab bar of Bryson Neal.
He was on his rear tire coming into that final turn. Must have got a heck of a drive up that last hill. And you know Bryson Neal was doing everything he could to close the door. Such a prestigious win here at Snowshoe, one that everybody wants to take home. And today, folks, it is the Bidwell Bullet, Bryson Neal on that number 1 Phoenix Racing Yamaha, getting the job done here. He takes the win, further extends his points lead here in the 2023 quest for the overall championship. What a day. I'm sure we'll get Jackson Burrell down there and get a word from our top finishers. We are going to keep an eye here and see if we get our next few top 3 riders coming in. If we do a refresh on our screen, just had somebody moving coming up the hill. Don't think we had anybody. Jared McClure and Josh Merritt have both checked in. So that was that battle we just saw on screen. So McClure coming in 4th place, or 3rd place as they run right now, and Josh Merritt
waiting on the Walker Fowler to see if
we got a couple
away that podium spot.
Couple more riders checking in, but keep in mind now Jared McClure and Josh Merritt actually started on road 2, so it should only be 40 seconds time correction, not 50.
Did Shadron and Fowler just check in?
Shadron just checked in. Fowler was behind Hart. There.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, so we got to wait until we see Hunter Hart and then Walker Fowler. It looks like we may have passed that 40-second. Looks like that may be them checking in right there.
Yep. Walker Fowler only able to get Hunter Hart there on the last lap on adjusted time. So it looks like your top 5 is Bryson Neal, Cole Richardson, the sneaky snake of Jared McClure sneaking up the podium spot from Josh Merrill on that last lap, and Jay Shadron round out your top 5.
There you go. And Jay Shadron there in 5th, Walker Fowler 6th, Hunter Hart 7th, and we will wait there and see. It looks like we do have Jackson Burrell down there with today's winner, Bryson Neal. Jackson, take it away.
I'm here with the take us through getting the win here today.
Oh man, you know, last year we had a big gap coming into this round with the championship chase, and man, I even making a mile into it, and everyone knows I watered up. I snapped my swing arm in half, and coming into this year, same thing. I got a points gap, and I was like, I got to get redemption. The mountain beat us last year. I got to finish this thing. Whether it was 1st, 2nd, 3rd, we wanted to get on the box, but dang, I really wanted to win this. I haven't won this one in the pro class, and I felt like the underdog, and it felt good to you know, get to Howard's Hole every lap. My crew was helping me out. Justin Fallon and Dougie over there on the 8-mile marker. That place was absolutely insane. So just to get this job done on this mountain with these conditions, we're so pumped. This YFC 450R Yamaha was ripping all day. CST tires, Elka shocks, tuned by Impact Solutions, DASA engine. Dan, we got it done, buddy. And man, I'm pumped. I don't even know what to say. The last lap was insane. I got buried so deep. Oh my gosh, I was like, this is my race, I'm done. And so thankfully he was able to get out, and they got tight. Cole, I peeked back, I saw him, I saw his tech front bumper, and I was like, oh, hold it on wide open, and we was able to bring this thing home.
All right, everybody, that is your overall winner, Bryson Neal.
Time on the wins list, passing Chuck DeLulo. And next guy on the docket, Bob Sloan. Listen, we have 3 rounds of racing left. Bryson Neal now has 22 wins. That means if he wins the next 2, he will have tied Bob's Ironman. Bob Sloan, we head into Ironman for the season finale and maybe pass him. I don't know, some history. No pressure, Bryson Neal. Zach Herron standing by with Cole Richardson.
All right, guys, we are down here with Cole Richardson. Cole, disappointed look on your face, man, but you're grabbing second on the day. Overall, take us through Snowshoe. How you feeling?
You know, it's Snowshoe. Anything can happen here. You know, you can DNF. I'm not sure if Adam DNF'd or not, but he didn't even get to make it to Howard's Hole, I don't think.
No, he was down there. We interviewed him because he was hanging out.
So he must have rolled just far enough to get stuck down there, or I guess not finished. But I'm sure Adam, you know, it's not what he wanted, but, you know, that's Adam's crowd, so he probably still had a good time. But, I think we was about 35 down. You know, we were riding good. I actually got the lead from Bryson. He got stuck. I got the lead, got out front. I got stuck, and, you know, I ended up closing back up to him. And, you know, as you can tell, we battled to the finish. Kind of wish we had some more track. Think we could have got it done, but just disappointed. You know, we made a bonehead move and got stuck and kind of threw it away.
All in all, how are you feeling about your riding, though? I mean, like you said, you were in the fight. A lot of different circumstances, not totally in your control, playing into this race. How'd you feel about your riding in general?
I mean, to be honest, I don't feel like I was riding good enough to be on the podium until the end there. I honestly don't think I made it through Howard's Hole clean except the first lap. You know, we got stuck, and honestly, every single lap, and you don't know when you get passed by other people. You know, it's just pure chaos. I don't know if I'm coming out in first or fifth or sixth. You're not going to know where you're at. But you know, we made do, and towards the end there, you know, we started clicking off and, you know, kind of getting the flow. We ran big tires, but, you know, I don't know. We didn't start off very good, even though we were up front, but, you know, we made it happen. We felt really good there at the end. I just wish we had another lap.
Cole Richardson with a solid podium finish here going into the summer break, grabbing second on the day in your XC1 Pro class.
All right, apologize for the technical difficulties there. But again, big congratulations to Cole Richardson on the second place finish. And Jared McClure finished third. Hard to believe. This is round 9 of the season. This is Jared's first podium of the year.
Yeah, normally a podium guy week in and week out, always there battling for it. So, well, like I said, the Sneaky Snake loves the mountain. He's won here before, and good to see him get up there and get on the box here today. So, solid ride for him. Josh Merritt in fourth. A great ride for him. That puts a 3-string together him of a 3-5-4. So, good things going on for him. And it looks like we're going to get a word with the Sneaky Snake.
All right, guys, sorry if I'm cutting in, but I am here with the third place on the day, Jared McClure. Jared, take us through this third place, man.
Oh, man, it was kind of a struggle all day. It just, you know, it's Snowshoe, man. I think every lap in Howard's Hole there, we shuffled positions, you know, go from 5th to 8th to, I don't even know, but, you know, there was so much chaos there. I really didn't know where I was running all day, but last lap, I will say, was the only lap I went through Howard's without getting stuck. I went through there so clean. There was guys stuck everywhere, and I just was able to get through it clean, and I think it put me from like 5th or 6th up into 3rd, so, yeah, it was a good day, man. Happy.
First podium of the year, and it's here at Snowshoe. Tell us how that feels.
It feels good, man. I got my first national win here a few years back, and this is an awesome place to just come out and do well. Because in the summer break, just happy to finally get up here and ride with these guys. I got to give a shout out to my whole pit crew, though. You know, Big Sexy, my dad was here, my mom and dad, thank them. Everybody just helped out. Kate, she was way out the end giving me towels every lap. You know, that's huge. It's huge when you have a support group. My buddy Coyote down in Howard's Hole with all the crazy people, man, he's just hanging it out down there, giving me lines. So, you know, when everybody comes together, man, it works. And, man, also shout out to GBC, man. These tires, we went with the bigger XC Masters, and, man, they were unbelievable in these conditions. Definitely the tire for Snowshoe.
All right, everybody, that is your third place on the day, Jared McClure.
All right, there we go, folks. Looks like Jared McClure giving a big shout out to his crew there. Says it was a tough day for him, but mentioned that he got his first ever win here. Now he's getting his first podium of 2023. Good memories on the mountain for him again this weekend. And here's a rundown of the top 10 as they came in here, Mikey.
Yeah, Bryson Neal with the win, back to his winning ways and carries all that momentum into the short summer break. Cole Richardson with a 2 spot. Jared McClure rounding out that box. Great ride by Josh Merritt. He was in the fight all day long, rounding out that top 5 Jay Shad run. Your buddy Walker Fowler, how do you feel he did today, Johnny?
I think he did excellent. You know, I mean, coming back that much time off the bike, obviously showed no loss of speed, was right up there, actually had these guys on corrected time, but the hole got him a couple times and maybe made a few miscues out there. You never know, but hey, when you're off the bike that long, come back and run right in the mix with these guys. Looks like he was just a few seconds actually off the podium on corrected time, so good day for him. You know, anytime you can come out of Snowshoe with max points, any of these guys in the top 10 should be pretty happy with the way things went.
Oh, amen. Hart, Abney, Steve Harrell out of that XC2 takes the win there and takes a 9th place OA. A solid day. Glotta rounding out your top 10. So great day. We're going to go on summer break. Next time you see Racer TV, I believe Loretta Lynn's, if I'm not mistaken. Then we'll be back with GNCC come September. I think that's going to wrap things up for us. On behalf of Jackson Burrows, Zach Heron, Johnny Gallagher, Cody Collier, our camera operators Adam Atkins, Matt, Josh, Mike, Leah, and John, our drone pilot Gabe Scholl, our spotter Hollywood, EIC Jordan McFadden, our director Dylan Acord, producer Adam Gordon, and our executive producer Carrie Jo Russell. I'm Mikey Waynes. We'll see you at the races.